is NTV.
Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaba mpenzi mtazamaji, ndio mwanzo wa taarifa zetu za NTV Weekendi, ikiwa ni tarehe 29 mwezi Novemba mwaka 2024. Mtazamaji, unajua kama ilivyo ada, kila siku ya Ijumaa lazima tukuchekeshe kidogo ndani ya vimbwanga vya Hemedi. Ni pamoja tuna taarifa kuntu ambazo tumekuandalia kutoka nyanjani, mijini na hata kwenye ngazi za kimataifa. Ila kwanza kabisa, vipasho. Seneta Karungu Wadhangwa kosa kufika mbele ya DCI kueleza kiini cha vurumai za mazishi yaliyohudhuriwa na Rigathi Gachagua Limuru.
The year 2024 saw increased harassment, trolling and cyberbullying targeting media professionals, with female journalists bearing the biggest brunt of this abuse.
These things happened at a time when there was a leadership transition, so I will be following up.
Kilio cha wariri chapazo kwa serikali kutokana na dhulma na ukandamizaji wa wanahabari.
Kama mtu alikuwa anaenda emergency, leo tuseme anapeleka mgonjwa mahali fulani, haiwezi pita.
Tumeweka mboga mahali tunaweka kwa store, tukiamuka asubuhi tumepata kama maji tumeenda nayo yote. Sasa sijui tufanyaje.
Mahangaiko ya Mto Nyando yamerudi tena. Mamia familia hazina makao, ni mara ya pili mwaka huu. Na katika vimbwanga vya wiki leo, Hemed anauliza wanamtakia nini Rigiji. Sinema za mguni ponye Limuru na Magharibi.
Hii ni NTV Weekendi na Frida Mwaka.
Ndio mwanzo wa taarifa za NTV Weekendi. Mfasiri wa lugha ishara ni David Agondoa. Mtazamaji wangu, na kusihi pia vile vile ufanye mtagusano nami katika mitandao yetu ya kijamii @NTV Kenya @Mwaka Frida. Mto Nyando umepasua kingo zake kwa mara ya pili mwaka huu, hali sawia ambayo ilishuhudiwa mwezi Mei, na kwa takriban miezi mitano wakazi wa kaunti ndogo ya Nyando katika kaunti ya Kisumu wanahesabu hasara. Hii mtazamaji ni kufuatia mvua huo ambao umeendelea kunyesha. Mwanahabari wetu Judy Cherono Omondi ana maelezo zaidi.
Nyumba na biashara zimezama ndani ya maji. Mamia ya familia kutoka kijiji cha Kapwothe zimehangaishwa, na sasa binadamu wanapiga kambi katika shule ya msingi ya St. Vitalis Nanga. Kwa takriban wiki mbili sasa, mvua kubwa imenyesha katika kaunti ya Kisumu. Hivyo basi, Mto Nyando umepasua kingo zake asubuhi wa kuamkia leo.
Hata kwa barabara ni shida, kila mahali imejaa maji. Lakini sana sana wangeangalia way forward ya hii river, wasaidia watu. Juu kama mtu alikuwa anaenda emergency, leo tuseme anapeleka mgonjwa mahali fulani, haiwezi pita.
Tumeweka mboga mahali tunaweka kwa store, tukiamuka asubuhi tumepata kama maji tumeenda nayo yote. Sasa sijui tufanyaje.
Hapo ndipo kaya kadhaa zimekuwa zikipiga simu nyumbani kwa siku kadhaa sasa. Kiwanja cha shule tayari kimefungwa na maji, na wanahofia kwamba hivi karibuni hawatakuwa na mahali salama. Kila darasa lina angalau familia 5. Hii ni kwa mujibu wa utawala wa shule.
Serikali kama naweza tuona na macho moja, atuona pia sisi tunapiga kura. Asubuhi mapema tushatoka kwa nyumba.
We have a lot of people who are sick. Some of them are now bedridden. They are coming in, we don't have toilets. They are only using 2 doors toilet, then supposed to be used by the teachers. The ones that are supposed to be used by the children are already submerged in water behind there, we cannot even access them.
The elderly ones who are struggling, to even sleep on the floor. We have decided to set up a recovery room, bring in some beds and some medication with the help of the Ministry of Health.
Idara ya hali ya hewa ilitoa taarifa mnamo Novemba 14 mwaka huu kuwa kutakuwa na mvua kubwa katika maeneo mengi ya nchi. Utabiri ukisema kuwa zaidi ya milimita 20 za mvua zinatarajiwa ndani ya saa 24 tangu kuanza kwa mvua ambayo ilitarajiwa kuzidi. Ndiyo hali halisi katika shule ya msingi ya Nanga ambapo wakazi kutoka Kapuothe wamekuja angalau kupata riziki ama kupata afueni kutokana na mafuriko, lakini maji ni kama inayofuata. Judith Cherono Mondi, NTV katika shule ya Nanga.
Asante sana mwanahabari wetu Judy Cherono. Mtazamaji, tukisonga mbele, serikali imeahidi kuchukua hatua kwa afisa atakayepatikana na makosa ya kumpiga risasi mwanahabari wa Media Max Catherine Wanjeri miezi 5 iliyopita alipokuwa akiripoti kuhusu maandamano ya kuipinga serikali ya Kenya Kwanza. Akizungumza katika kongamano la 7 la baraza la wahariri jijini Nakuru, rais wa baraza hilo Zubeida Kome alitoa mapendekezo 6 kwa serikali, ikiwemo kuimarishwa kwa usalama wa wanahabari, kutolewa kwa vizuizi vya matangazo katika vyombo vya habari, pamoja na kuharakishwa kwa uteuzi wa bodi ya baraza la vyombo vya habari, kando na kuiwezesha tume ya kupokea malalamiko ya vyombo vya habari kufanya kazi kwa uhuru. Serikali kwa upande wake imeahidi kulipa deni la shilingi bilioni 1.7 kwa vyombo vya habari, huku ikikiri changamoto kadha wa kadha kati ya uhusiano wa vyombo vya habari na serikali. Naibu Rais Kithure Kindiki alihimiza umuhimu wa wanahabari katika kuimarisha umoja.
They chase just one vision, which is how might Africa tell its own story.
The year 2024 saw increased harassment, trolling, and cyberbullying targeting media professionals, with female journalists bearing the biggest brunt of this abuse. We urge the government to recommit itself to the protection of media workers as they perform their constitutionally mandated duties. 2, withdraw restrictive advertising directives. We urge the government to take steps to reverse the recent directives by the Ministry of ICT on centralized government advertising, which unfairly disadvantages certain media houses. Such a move would foster a level playing field to ensure all media outlets have equitable access to advertising revenue.
So I will be following up on where we are, and I want to undertake, Madam President and the rest of the colleagues here, that we are going to follow up to ensure justice is done and establish who did this and bring that person to account. I can commit that we are doing all we can to clear in its entirety the portfolio of the pending bills in the media industry.
Hai, tukisonga mbele mtazamaji, Seneta wa Kiambu Karungo Wathangwa amepuuza wito wa maafisa wa idara ya upelelezi wa jinai DCI, ambapo alitakikana kufika katika makao ya DCI kaunti ya Nyeri kufuatia machafuko yaliyotatiza mazishi huko Limuru. Licha kukubali kutoa ushirikiano, wakili wake Ndegwa Njiru amekosoa wito huo akisema kwamba mteja wao hana habari yoyote itakayosaidia katika uchunguzi huo. Haya yanajiri huku familia marehemu Erastus Muigai ikikashifu vikali tukio la Alhamisi katika shule ya Bibirioni, wakisema kisa hicho kilionekana kupangwa na wangetaka uchunguzi wa kina kufanyika ili wahusika wote wawe. Margaret Kimathi na taarifa hiyo kwa kina.
Ni wito wa seneta wa Kiambu Karungo Wathangwa kufika katika makao ya idara ya upelelezi wa jinai kaunti ya Nyeri, uliotiwa saini na afisa Joseph Chirchir, ukionyesha kuwa seneta huyo anaweza kuwa na habari muhimu kwa uchunguzi wa ghasia zilizotokea Limuru siku ya Alhamisi. Maafisa wa DCI walipiga kambi katika makao haya, huku polisi wakishika doria kumsubiri Wathangwa kujiwasilisha kama ilivyotakikana. Muda wa saa 5 baadaye, wakili wa Wathangwa Ndegwa Njiru kupitia ripoti Amekosoa wito huo akisema kwamba mteja wao hana habari yoyote itakayosaidia katika uchunguzi huo licha ya kukubali kutoa ushirikiano. Dhangwa pia alikuwa ametilia shaka uamuzi wa kufanya uchunguzi huo huko Nyeri, mbali na mahali kisa hicho kilitokea. Dhangwa pia alikosoa wito huo na kuutaja kuwa ni aina ya vitisho. Wakati huo, huduma ya taifa ya polisi ilikanusha madai kwamba walimkamata aliyekuwa mbunge wa Limuru Peter Mwathi kutokana na machafuko ya Limuru. Kulingana na taarifa kutoka kwa ofisi ya Inspekta Jenerali, hawakumkamata Mwathi kwa sababu hahitajiki katika uchunguzi wao. Haya yanajiri huku familia ya marehemu Erastus Muigai ikikashifu vikali tukio Alhamisi katika shule ya Bibirioni, wakisema kisa hicho kilionekana kupangwa na wangetaka uchunguzi wa kina kufanyika ili wahusika wote wakamatwe. Familia hii ilipata uharibifu mkubwa zaidi kufuatia machafuko hayo.
Kulikuwa maofisa wengine wanafaria kiraia. Hii mambo inajulikana. Wale ambao wataweza kuwa na huruma juu ya sisi wangetusaidia. Anga tulipe hazara hii ya viti vilifunjika.
A team of DCI officers are on the ground carrying out investigations, and at this moment statements from the family have been taken.
Hata hivyo, kamanda wa polisi katika eneo la Limuru Mary Gashie amedokeza kwamba tayari wameanzisha uchunguzi ili kuwapata wote wanaoaminika kuhusika, huku wawakilishi wadi wa Kiambu wakisema mmoja wao ambaye ni diwani wa Bibirioni Christopher Ireri alitekwa nyara jana na kufikia sasa hajulikani alipo.
Reports by the county assembly and his family to trace him have been unsuccessful as he is not reachable on his known mobile phone number which has been switched off since his disappearance yesterday.
Tumekuwa na shida ya kimawazo, kosa kura, shida ya kufikiria kwani angekuwa ako wapi.
Viongozi pia wamemtaka Inspector wa polisi Douglas Kanja na idara ya DCI kuingilia kati na kuwatia mbaroni waliohusika na vurugu hizo.
To do proper investigation. We don't want political violence in our country. We want tolerance. Tunataka upendo.
Ni tuwe wangwana na tuheshimu familia zilizofiwa, tuheshimu kanisa, tuheshimu wananchi.
Margaret Kimathi, NTV.
Mtazamaji wangu, tusonge mbele na taarifa zetu. Serikali imezidi kukana kuwa kuna mkono wa kampuni ya Adani ya India ndani ya mamlaka ya bima ya afya SHA. Msemaji wa serikali Isaac Mwaura amesisitiza kuwa hamasisho litaendelea katika kaunti zote 47 nchini ili bima ya afya ya SHIF iwe nywee. Mwanahabari wetu David Mudhoka na maelezo zaidi.
Huku mpango mpya wa serikali wa afya maarufu kama SHA ukizidi kusutwa siku nenda siku rudi, msemaji wa serikali Isaac Mwaura ameutetea vikali. Mwaura kwanza alikana kuwa mkono wa kampuni tata ya Adani ya India uko ndani ya SHA.
Unajua kuna makatela ambao lazima waingize Adani kila mahali. Hakuna Adani katika mfumo wa SHA. Roni, hakuna hata kidogo. Kwa hivyo hizo zingine nitasema ni stories za jaba na jazba.
Isitoshe, Mwaura alizungumzia hamu ya ushuru ambayo serikali inayo na kutetea miswada minne inayopendekeza mbinu zaidi za kukusanya ushuru.
Tuna nakisi kubwa sana ya bajeti na ningependa kuwarai wa Kenya wenzangu kwamba tukubali tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee bila mikopo. Hususan tukiangazia swala zima kwamba tulipoteza ule mswada wa finance bill. Hiyo ni kumaanisha kwamba hatukuweza kukusanya zaidi ya kitita cha shilingi bilioni 346.
Msemaji huyo wa serikali aidha alizungumzia swala tata la chanjo ya mifugo wote nchini, akisema hakuna atakayelazimishwa kupeleka mifugo wake kupokea chanjo.
Na tunatumai kuwa na chanjo ya mifugo zaidi ya milioni 22 kote katika kaunti zetu za Kenya. Na hili ni jambo zuri na ndio ndiposa tunasema wanyama wote waweze kusajiliwa tujue kwamba mfugo huu ni wa nani, ng'ombe yako ni ya nani, ina alama ipi. Na ni jambo waingesema itaongeza gharama, lakini ni jambo tu unalifanya kwa urahisi na linakwisha.
David Muthoka, NTV, Nairobi.
Mtazamaji, wageni kutoka sehemu mbalimbali za dunia wamefurika katika kisiwa cha Amu ama ukipenda Lamu kushuhudia awamu ya 22 ya tamasha za kitamaduni kisiwani humo. Tamasha hizo hufanyika kila mwaka na huwapa nafasi wenyeji kujivunia tamaduni zao, wakijihusisha katika kucheza ngoma za kikwao, mashindano ya punda, mashindano ya majahazi. Mwanahabari wetu Yugen Nambeka anaarifu.
Sherehe hizo za kila mwaka zitakazokamilika hapo kesho zimewapa nafasi wageni waliotoka pande mbalimbali za dunia nafasi ya kuburudika huku wakifurahia utamaduni wa Lamu. Watalii wa kutoka mataifa ya kigeni na wale wa humu nchini wamepata nafasi ya kujifunza mengi kuhusu eneo hilo na tamaduni za wenyeji wa kisiwa cha Amu. Kwa mujibu wa wenyeji, awamu ya 22 inayoendelea imeungarisha mji na kuupa uhai, ukitoa wakati mwafaka wa kukuza utamaduni huku wakijisakia tonge kwa jino na ukucha.
Utakuta sahihi hakuna guest hata moja ambao tayari unaweza kupata room na wewe ukalala. Kama wameingia mpaka mitaani kutuulizia manyumba kama watapata self ama bedroom moja, lakini kwa bahati nzuri wanaendelea kufaulu.
Katika tamasha hizi, wageni hushuhudia ngoma za kitamaduni na kujifunza mengi kuhusu historia ya jamii ya Wabajuni ambao ndio wenyeji wa eneo hilo. Kivutio kikuu huwa mashindano ya punda na yale ya majahazi ambayo huwahusisha vijana, kila mmoja akionyesha weledi wake. Licha ya hayo, wito wa amani umetolewa, vijana wakiombwa kutowahangaisha wageni ili kuhakikisha wageni wanarejea awamu ya mwaka ujao kukuza utalii.
Na wageni wetu wamekuja, wageni ni wetu, Lamu ni yetu, culture ni yetu. Sifurahi ondra sira, gavana ametuwekea tufurahi, ni si vita. Kwa hivyo tunaomba kila mwenye kuchukua panda, kisu, fimbo aweke nyumbani.
Hapo awali wazee walitoa pingamizi dhidi ya mialiko ya wasanii wa nchi jirani ya Tanzania, haswa wanaoimba muziki wa bongo flavor, wakitaka muziki ya kitamaduni iteke anga. Licha ya hayo, kwa mujibu wa watayarishi wa tamasha hilo, msanii D-Voice na Yami kutoka nchini Tanzania watawatumbuiza wakazi hao kesho Jumamosi katika funga kazi ya tamasha hizo eneo la Mkunguni. Chambilecho wenyeji, Amu Tamu. Yugen Nambeka, NTV.
Bila shaka mtazamaji, sina budi kusema kwamba Amu Tamu. Mashabiki wetu wa Amu tunawapenda sana. Haya basi, niruhusu nichukue mapumziko mafupi. Kuna mengi tu ambayo tumekuandalia katika meza yetu ya NTV Weekend kama haya yajayo. Rigiji wamtakia nini? Maswali na patashika kwenye vimbwanga vya wiki. Tulia hapo ulipo.
But I know that meat looks tender, but maybe not so much when your chest is burning. Remember what happened the last time? Hey, dude, you don't listen, man. Are you testing yourself? I tried looking out for you, bro. Hey, you see now? How's the heartburn? Look now, it's burning.
Do not hold back in any situation. Eno gets to work on the 6 symptoms of heartburn fast.
What? You do know you said all of that out loud, right?
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
Your profile says you don't drink.
How? And I miss out on the silky refreshing test?
For real? For real. Well, in that case, I'll have whatever he's having.
I drink responsibly. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Del.
Del who?
Del Monte.
Real, recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit.
Introducing Festive Cakes.
We have some delightful snacks for all of you.
The Festive Simbella Cake. Indulge in the pleasure of a cone-shaped cake that's bursting with flavors.
Where did you come from? Come. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Festive cupcakes.
Thank you.
Perfect treat to share with friends and family.
Now for your kids' school snacks, hakuna stress.
Festive pink cakes. The perfect blend of sweetness and softness.
And now this is for you, Dad, and your office mate.
Festive pound cake. This sumptuous cake will leave you craving for more. Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Yes. Tarehe 4
on 4th
hadi tarehe 15
up to 15th of December
mwezi wa 12 Mungu anatupa nguvu kupitia kwa damu na mwili wa mwanawe.
My name is John Gathige Maina, one of the directors, Liquid Group of Schools, a premier institutions of learning in Kenya. Progressive credit stands out in a number of ways. Other than providing the financial assistance, they go ahead and provide technical advice on the dynamics that involve the finances borrowed. This makes them quite outstanding. Their interest rates are also very competitive. And we really appreciate them for making this story a reality.
Our financing solutions are personalized and tailor-made to cater to your business needs. Partner with Progressive Credit for working capital, school development, and asset financing, among others. Contact us today on 0700-600-900. Progressive Credit, taking every step with you. Regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Karibu tena mtazamaji. Makumi ya watu wamepoteza maisha yao katika maporomoko ya ardhi yaliyotokea katika wilaya ya Bulambuli, Uganda na kuzika nyumba nyingi katika vijiji kadhaa. Huku maeneo makubwa yakiwa yametanda tope nzito, nyumba na shule zilizokuwa hapo zikiwa mchangani. Serikali ya Uganda imeagiza watu katika maeneo hatari kuhama, huku shirika la Msalaba Mwekundu Red Cross na polisi wakiendelea na juhudi za uokoaji. Inaripotiwa kuwa hatari ya maafa kama haya inazidishwa na uharibifu wa misitu kwenye miteremko ya mlima ya Uganda, jambo linaloongeza hatari ya maporomoko ya ardhi. Haya, tukitoka Uganda mtazamaji wangu, sasa tuangazie vimbwanga vya Hemed. Ushawahi gundua kuwa Kenya kila mtu ni mtu? Yaani hapa kila mtu yajisikia kivyake, si mazishini, si harusini. Muda wote ukiwa mahali mkutanoni ni uo ushamasta, njia ya kurudi kwenu na mapema. Maana kituko tu kinaweza lipuka ukabakia vimbwangani sasa hivi. Yalimkuta naibu rais aliyebanduliwa Rigathi Gachagua mazishini Limuru. Hemed.
Saa 9 juu ya alama, Limuru, Kiambu. Location check, copy the roger, in and out. Wakiwa mazishini, makini kusikiliza ratiba ya mwenda zake.
Natogoria aikiro mwanya.
Usiwaone wameungana, patanuka sasa hivi hapo. Baadhi yao walionekana kutazama nyuma. Palikuwa na mabigi pale, jamaa fuli, bambam, kifua mfuko wa smiti. Wamekuja mazishini, si ndio? Kama kwamba kuna kitu, na kweli kilikuwepo mara kidogo. Mbinde taiti. Wenye presha za ghafla zilipanda zikashuka. Tena watu wazima na nyumba zao. Sijui nani ndio wakuwakanya hapa. Aba viti vya nyesha kama mvua, na wasio na talanta ya ukimbiaji Hii ilikuwa fursa adhimu ya mtu kujua kipaji chake fiche. Kosa Olimpiki uchekwe wewe. Baada ya kupata jala viti na mwenye mahema kula hasara, mashangingi wa magari aina ya V8 yalikuwa kama mikokoteni tu. Nasikia Rigiji naibu rais aliyetimuliwa akatimuliwa tena. Maradu. Tutoke Kiambu tuelekee magharibi mwa Kenya sasa. Babu we, usende mkutanoni huko kuna noma. Wachana na mimi Emendi, mimi nafuata muziki tu. Sawa babu, bora uwe una mbio. Alipofika tu dakika kidogo muziki ukageuka rangi. Palikuwa na mzee mzima Salasia we buda. Vurumai, kwani palikalika? Lakini vyote ni vimbwanga tu.
Don't run! Murife! Murife, don't run!
Ahmed Abdullah, NTV, Nairobi.
Mtazamaji wangu, mimi sina mengi tu, sina la ziada kufikia hapo. Niruhusu nichukue tena mapumziko mafupi, lakini tujifunze Kiswahili ndani ya neno la siku.
Katika neno la siku tunaangazia neno vunga vunga. Maana yake, eleza jambo kwa kubabaika, babaika. Mfano katika sentensi, serikali ikiulizwa maswali na wananchi kuhusu hali ngumu ya maisha, inavunga vunga.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
I'll have whatever he's having.
Real, recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit.
Hammer down prices this Black November. Nakafu! Day 30 of daily crazy offers. Massive deals. Bigger discounts. Lower prices. Unbelievable prices. Shop and save more than ever. Nakafu!
Tarehe 4
on 4th
hadi tarehe 15
up to 15th of December,
mwezi wa 12, Mungu anatupa nguvu kupitia kwa damu na mwili wa mwanawe.
Any 280-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate. Visit Cadbury.Africa or declare someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
This week on Churchill Show.
For real life, watu wa C wanaemploy watu wa A. Nikasomea hiyo C.
Longi kizeeka sana mwanaume atupangi anakata inakuwa boxer.
Sasa kuna katengo lingine. Hii ni mbaya. Hii ni mbaya. Kungolota na umekonda.
Mulima iko na bahati kunisida. Hii mwaka mulima iliguzwa, mimi sijaguzwa hii mwaka.
Alijitengea shopping mall yake ya kuishi.
Tudunde viwanjani. Matayarishi ya mashindano ya mbio za magari ya Safari Rally yameshika kasi, huku waandalizi wakisema kuwa makala ya mwaka ujao yatakuwa na mabadiliko haswa katika eneo ambalo magari yatapita. Kwa mujibu wa mkuu wa maandalizi ya mashindano hayo, Nuri Songalo, mashindano ya Safari Rally yatakayoandaliwa hadi tarehe 20 hadi tarehe 23 mwezi Machi mwaka ujao mjini Naivasha yatakuwa na vitengo viwili vipya. Vitengo hivyo vimetengwa kwa ajili ya kuwapa mashabiki fursa nyingine ya kushabikia mbio hizo za magari. Safari Rally itakuwa mkondo wa 3 katika msururu wa kimataifa.
Still, his 4th place was guaranteed.
11 physical stages. Of this 11, we have changed. We have introduced 2 new stages. That is Camp Moran and Leleshwa. The 2 stages we've introduced are all spectator friendly.
Done all the hard work.
Na Harambee Starlets itapambana na wenyeji Morocco katika mechi yake ya kwanza ya kirafiki leo usiku. Wakati huo Ryan Wesley Ogam ndiye mchezaji bora wa klabu ya Tusker wa mwezi Novemba. Mengi ni katika mseto wa michezo fuatao na mwanaspoti Yoshua Makori.
Majira saa 2 usiku huu Harambee Starlets itashuka uwanjani Mohamed wa Sita kupambana na Morocco katika pambano la kimataifa la kirafiki. Kipa Christine Molo na mshambuliaji Jacqueline Chesangi wameridhishwa na kuita kwao kwa mara ya kwanza timuni.
Nilikuwa na hopes that kuna siku nyingine itaitwa national team, moso senior, ndio hii Mungu ameniwezeshia nimefika.
Nimefurahia kuitwa national team, kuja kucheza hii game 2.
Wakati huo mshambuliaji Ryan Wesley Ogam ndiye mwanasoka bora wa Tusker wa mwezi Novemba. Ogam aliwashinda Shafani Sewa, George Kadu na nahodha Charles Momanyi na kutuzwa tuzo na shilingi 50,000. Ogam tayari amefunga mabao 7 na yuko kileleni mwa chati ya wafungaji bora msimu huu.
I started the season well. Currently I'm in the best form. Nasikia poa sana nimeweza kushinda hii award.
Na kuhusu dimba la gavana wa Nairobi Johnson Sakaja ni kwa mabingwa tetezi Githurai All Stars walishinda Kahawa United mabao 2-1 na kusonga mbele katika dimba hili na kugundua na kulea talanta mashinani.
Safari hajakuwa rahisi, being that Sindo defending champions, so hurdles zinaenda kuwa zikiwa ngumu. All in all maboys wame up game yao.
Kwingineko timu ya shule ya kimataifa ya Nova Pioneer 3 seti ambayo ilijumuisha soka, taekwondo, uogeleaji na mpira wa kikapu imerejea nyumbani baada ya kushiriki kambi ya michezo jijini Cairo, Misri. Kocha mkuu wa taekwondo Michael Wanjau ambaye aliandamana na timu hii amekiri kwamba wanaspoti wake amepata mafunzo kemkem kutokana na kambi hiyo. Na hatimaye makala ya 11 ya michezo baina ya wafanyikazi wa kaunti 47 maarufu kama Kikoska yamezidi kunoga katika uwanja wa Mumias kaunti ya Kakamega. Kisumu ilishinda Nairobi alama 2-1 katika kuvuta kamba, huku timu ya mpira wa pete ya Nairobi ikishinda Kisii alama 37-14 katika robo finali ya kinadada. Nikidunda nyugani niite mwanaspoti Yoshua Makori.
Na kocha wa Manchester United Ruben Amorim aliandikisha ushindi wake wa kwanza United ilipoishinda Bodo Glimt mabao 3-2 uwanjani Old Trafford katika mechi ya ligi ya Europa. Mwanaspoti wetu Lydia Mwachiro ameiandaa taarifa hiyo kwa kina.
An automatic qualification for the round of 16.
Garnacho aliweka Red Devils ongozini dakika ya kwanza.
Mtazamaji, kufikia hapo la ziada sina, nakamilisha taarifa zangu za NTV Weekendi. Mie siku zote ni Frida Mwaka nitaitika, mfasiri wa lugha ishara ni David Agondoa. Kesho ni siku ya gumzo la Sato. Kwa heri kwa sasa.
This is NTV.
Make today taste better with a new street rice pasua for only 490 shillings.
Hammer down prices this Black November. Naka Food. Day 30 of daily crazy offers. Massive deals. Bigger discount. Lower prices. Unbelievable prices. Shop and save more than ever. Naka Food.
Show off your best skin with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion with 5-in-1 complete care. The deeply nourishing formula prevents your skin from drying with precious cocoa butter and deep moisture for smooth and healthy looking skin.
Welcome to San Francisco. The best players in the world.
It's the most beautiful thing you could ever witness.
Welcome to the official start of All-Star Weekend, NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. Let's go, baby! Stars and future here on display. The lights are on, the stars are here.
Skia, ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Yummy na flow kama maji, juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi. Usijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juni.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. Thank you for joining us for this episode. Mazeleo, guest wetu ni, my description yake ni James Bond, or atatu prove right or wrong. Tunataka kufanya episode ya forensic investigation, forensic science, and our guest has been a private investigator before. Tunataka kujua the scope yenye ameenda, but it's a very interesting topic. You already know. Mafans wote wa detective series mnajua mahali story inatoka. Jabez Hosea is in the house. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Thank you for having me.
Karibu. Ni Jabez ama ni Jabez?
Jabez.
Jabez has been an active private investigator, but now he works on a capacity, a director na consultancy services, but anajizo stories zote. That's why we have him on the show. Now we had a side conversation. Now I think I'm happy to bring it back tena. Story ya hii kutap simu na nini. Would you know when someone anasikiza conversation yako kwa simu?
Initially, you won't be able to detect it.
Yes.
However, eventually, as the bag that has been planted in your phone continues to consume your memory, your phone is likely to begin behaving in erratic manner. Secondly, most bags are meant to relay back information.
Yes.
Sometimes they rely on your own airtime to do the same, or your access to a Wi-Fi. Now, sometimes when you're off those kind of channels over, for example, a period of 24 hours, they begin to try to ping, and you'll find notifications of, no, sorry, the server error, it cannot link back to the mother prompter.
Sometimes it uses your airtime.
Yes, sometimes it
does. Will that explain why manzi yangu ananga credit?
No, I don't think she's tracked, first of all, but also there are other reasons why your credit will be running out. However, from an investigation point of view, or surveillance point of view, the bugs that have to report back are always detected because of those circumstances, erratic behavior. Because, you know, they are just actually programs that run on your system.
Someone has to get hold of your phone and install them.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they have to be in your phone. I can email you with a picture that you need to download. I can send you a quick something that you'll need to download on your phone.
At a WhatsApp video?
No, WhatsApp is a little bit different because once you upload something on WhatsApp tends to restructure it. Even the metadata on a video on WhatsApp tends to just get lost.
That's what they mean by end-to-end encryption?
End-to-end encryption means it cannot be intercepted in between.
Okay.
If I was to intercept anything on your WhatsApp, it has to be on your phone.
Yes.
Or on the sender's phone, not in between. Like, and I can intercept your communication in between. I can be listening to your phone calls in between. So it means it's not encrypted. You know, on transit, can't be intercepted on WhatsApp.
So the law of evidence, even if you listen to a conversation and you know all my secrets, you still cannot use it unless authorized, right?
Yes, that's what should be happening.
Now, what's the market like for private investigators in Kenya? Najua hapo kwa cheating couples zimeshika sana.
We understand that, and we really commend our other players in the market who thrive in that section, yeah? Because, you know, there could be a man somewhere whose, you know, woman is stepping out on him and he'd never know.
And the vice versa? Yes.
The vice versa, okay, the vice versa could also be true, but by the time...
It's women who... No, it's men who employ private investigators more to catch women.
I think when a woman employs a private investigator, she already knows. She's just looking for a second opinion. Men, is like very green. They don't know, maybe just somebody mentioned it and they're like, you know.
What's the most unique case you have ever investigated?
The one that has always stood out for me, without saying very specific things, is one that we had to lift a very minute piece of fingerprint from the buckle of a belt of somebody who had been offended in one way.
From the back of a belt?
The buckle, you know, that car.
Oh, yes, from the buckle, from the buckle.
Yes.
A fingerprint?
Yes. And it's one thing that everybody had missed out, and we were able to get that.
Ah.
Yes.
And you got the person you were looking for?
No, we passed it over to relevant persons to look into it.
Are there moments where forensic evidence has misled an inquiry?
I think so, but not forensic evidence, human error in analysis of forensic evidence. For example, DNA is analyzed in two fashions, yeah? There is something called STR and RFPL. Now, one is very isolative. It will isolate you and your brother. But one is likely to cluster close relatives together.
Okay. And what do you say to someone who would want to study forensic science?
They really need to have the science at heart. They really need to be okay with the very gruesome, you know, scenes, and they really need to be very quick in their thinking when it comes to the application of that science.
Okay. So in your career, ukisema gruesome, umeona mavitu zenye zinaweza fanya mtu akose kulala?
Yeah, quite a number.
For real?
Yes.
Unaongezanga na
I don't.
Ai.
Hapana.
Hata ya kulala usingizi? How do you train your mind to be ndio usiote vibaya?
For most it's conditioning. For example, let me give you a short. When we joined our campus, I think our year we were about 60-something students who began the course. No, it's a big number.
60?
60, I think 61.
Out of 10,000, 40,000 students who are in KU every year?
Yes, 60 began. However, at the end of second year, I think we were 20 at best. I think 20 or half that number.
Ah.
Yeah, because you go and you see an actual dead body without skin. Now you know how ugly the human body is without the skin.
Without clothes.
Yes, even without clothes, but that at least you're used to. Without the skin, so that you're only seeing the internal structures of that body.
They do that?
That is what you have to learn on.
if you remember yourself before joining school to do forensic science, and after that, what do you think changed in the person that you are? In terms of view on life, in terms of...
my sense of divinity just went a little bit down.
Divinity?
How divine, yes. Kind of went, you know, towards the south. Because with that you realize, number one, I know this will disappoint my mom if she ever heard it. The Bible says one rib was taken out of you and given to your better half. Yes. And you know, some people believe it literally. Yeah.
Yes.
If the first thing you go and see a cadaver, in fact, when I got to the first examination of a cadaver, I counted the ribs, and I was told, no, that is a myth.
Your sense of divinity went down, as in you started believing in God 20%.
I started believing in God 20% less.
20% less?
Yes. If I was at 120, 120%, I would now came back to 100%.
Then what do you believe in as a scientist?
No, it's not to say that I don't believe in God. However, I just think that the manner in which you believe changes.
So umesema hapana?
Not at all.
So how do you maintain your sanity? Like wewe uko sawa? Because of course you've seen things that would, I would say, paranormal, like things that are not for the ordinary, right? So what do you do wewe uko conform?
Now, one of the major things that any person that has worked for my organization, Somo Group, what they've always done is debrief. It's one of the things that they have to do.
Wow,
to debrief. Yes, because we do not completely detach from the things we do. You might do this job for a while and you love to do it. If we take you to another thing to do, you still feel the sensation of this work you do. So it's the same thing. And some of the things, again, we do are very personal to other people. And by that extension, you get the vicarious trauma on you. So you have to find a way to debrief. If you're a sports person, you have to do it. You've got to talk to our in-house counsel, our in-house counselor, who just tries to get you to rationalize some of the things you encounter in the course of either doing your forensic work or your investigations work.
So debrief ni go sitting with someone. Mimi naongea from a Jack Bauer perspective. Unaenda unakaa, umetoka crime scene, unaenda unaongeleshwa, unafanya si kusomewa, right?
Yes. No, sio kusomewa. What happens, for example, let's move a little bit slightly to just investigation.
Yes.
When you're hired to do corporate investigation, for example, integrity check, and we come here and we have our investigators planted within your system, and you've been working with these people for like 3 months, collecting how they've been defrauding this organization. You even became friends maybe. But at the end of it all, the report has to reflect what happened. You feel so bad you betrayed some of the people. While they were doing the wrong thing, yes, but you feel I've betrayed them one way or another. Now, how do you deal with that feeling?
You've been planted somewhere. You become friends with a target. Can we call them a target?
It's all right.
You investigate them, you become friends, and you make your target pregnant. How debrief from that?
You have to rationalize your action. Sometimes you can even choose to betray the organization. We'd send you, and then you choose, look, I choose to not report anymore. For reasons
you
based
become,
on...
you are a husband now.
Yes, you say, I'm too conflicted to continue reporting.
If you don't debrief, what happens? For example, in a case where you've seen something graphic, unaendelea na job, what's the worst case scenario?
You break down, and you break down bad.
Nilipenda sana website yenu, Somo. Ili nibamba sana. Very good work hapo. My greatest take home, first of all, asante sana kwa kuja show yetu leo. Thank you very much. My greatest take home is husbands hire private investigators to catch cheating wife because they have no idea. Women hire private investigators just to confirm.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
I'll have whatever he's having.
Real, recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit.
Show off your best skin with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion with 5-in-1 Complete Care. The deeply nourishing formula prevents your skin from drying with precious cocoa butter and deep moisture for smooth and healthy looking skin.
Baadaye auntie.
Mkuu, umetufikisha home poa. Asante. Pia wewe pata kakitu ikufikishe home.
Nunua any 280-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate. Visit cadbury.africa or give someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
When I have back pain, I reach for 2 tablets of Panadol Extra. It's boosted by caffeine for fast relief of strong pain, like headache, toothache, and muscle pain. And I am finally released from pain and ready to be there for those who need me. Try Panadol Extra for fast and effective relief from strong pain.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Can you imagine that? Avoiding having cold ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Show off your best skin with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion with 5-in-1 Complete Care. The deeply nourishing formula prevents your skin from drying with precious cocoa butter and deep moisture for smooth and healthy looking skin.
The Fire Award Conference will be held on December 5th, 2024 at the Serena Hotel, and the gala dinner held on December 6th, 2024 at the Safari Park Hotel.
Nataka uimagine mafuta ya kupika imeisha. Halafu gasi ishe. Halafu Subaru Icon E imeisha mafuta. Halafu ukose usikie sauti ya token. Sasa mtu atatoa wapi 1 million?
Alvan Love is in the house. Sawa. Unajua unafaa upatiwe title ya Safara number 1.
Really?
Kwa sababu you present the Safara situation vizuri sana. Karibu sana kwa show.
Thank you.
Tunakutaka sana juu.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here also and to at least nimekuona leo.
Hii conversation ya wana work Middle East.
Yes.
Where did you come to connect with it?
Okay, so there is something on TikTok that people do for fun called going live on TikTok.
Yes.
Right? You go live and now you can have like 6 guests on your live and it's just people from different places, dunia mzima. And you can talk about literally anything from this to the other. At some point I did even a competition, international competition on live TikTok and all that. But then something came up like before I even got my hands dirty kwanza kusaidia watu wa Saudi and all those Arabic countries. I realized that there were a lot of Kenyan TikTokers on these live sessions that are literally in the Middle East. Wengi sana.
Okay.
And it's because, number 1, that's the only chance they have to connect with watu wa home. Hiyo ni moja. Ya pili, it's a way of releasing stress. Right? So they will be there. Utakutana nao hadi saa 9 ya usiku. So I got, so if he's gonna be live on TikTok,
yes,
he will share to me, to you, to all these other people.
Yes.
So
yes.
I kept seeing a couple of people sharing a particular live from one person. Alvan ebu ingia live. Literally, it was this girl. She was in Lebanon, who had kemboid. I don't know kama mnajua kukemboid kwa nini. Like running away from Jobo penye alikuwa.
Yes.
And it's because, number one, okay, she had worked there for at least a year in this family. And I mean, nyumba zenye wanafanya kazi kwazo niga ifafa more than what? Like 1 person 4 floors. Okay?
Yes.
So if you try to show that umechoka ama you are angry because ama alafu on top of that, these guys are speaking to you in a language that you don't understand. And if you don't get that she's asking you, ama wanahitaji Waiguru ama Waitito, those are the words that they use. Waiguru, I think, is the man. Waitito, no, it's the other way around.
Even do wanaita wadosi wao.
Wadosi wao. So kuna Waiguru na Waitito. Yeah? Those are the names. So kama Waiguru, amekuambia uende umletee pan, na amekuambia, you know, like they're supposed to know what that means.
Yes.
Usiposhika, you know, it's not, there are some bosses who are just absolutely nonsensical. What our chapa, they slap them, mangumi, sujui what. So this girl that I was being shared live yake, she had kemboid, she had run away from a family that she worked for a whole year. Na hiyo siku alilimwa. Yeah, so this girl has just run away from the home she's worked in for a whole year. Na she's on the streets, she's running.
Yeah.
She had some data. Na alikuwa on live TikTok telling guys, I need people who wako Lebanon who can help me out. So with that little influence that I have hapo, I managed to ask, guys, nani yako Lebanon? Right? And I got about 20 people. We are on one side talking with this lady, right? Because I got her number now from the live, and also trying to talk to the people who are around her. Ndio akuwe rescued. Now, what happens is that she runs, akakutana na Msudanese pahali, ndio apate Wi-Fi. She ran out of data. Huyo Msudanese akamfungulia, ndio akamsaidia na Wi-Fi, na alikuwa anashinda akimwambia ingia bafu uoge. So dem anajiuliza, naulizwa niingie kwa bafu kwa nini? I just wanted Wi-Fi. So she's afraid, she's young. She's 22 years old. She's afraid sababu huo Msudanese alirudi akatoka na akafunga gate. Dem akafungiwa ndani. And the guy kept calling some other guy wakiwa tu hapo wakimwambianga akuje. So she felt like she was really in danger. So I managed
this time you're following this live?
Yes. I'm doing live, and at the same time I'm like trying to get all the help I can using my phone on WhatsApp and the people who we are talking to wenye wako karibu. It took us ilikaa mpaka to jioni late up to like 7:30. It was getting dark also on her side, and then eventually we got this other lady who managed, I think she was 20 minutes from where she was. Akachukua cab kutoka huko, akapatiwa gari na bosi yake. Na dereva. So they went to look for this girl. Now remember, amefungiwa udema, amefungiwa ndani ya nyumba, si ndio?
Yeah.
Amefungiwa ndani ya compound. Ule jamaa Msudanese akarudi, akafungua, na walikuwa wangapi? Wawili. And akozea ingia ndani uoge, as in get in and shower. It's like, I don't need to shower. She pretended in a way like she wanted to check something outside.
Yeah.
Alipopita tu hivi gate mbio. She ran. Now remember, Wi-Fi imekatika. She doesn't have airtime either. Na data imekatika. How do we get her? Fortunately, we had managed, alikuwa ameongea na ule mwenye alikuwa 20 minutes away, long enough to know the general location na pin walikuwa wametumiana. So she's literally on the streets. Na mcall, she's on the streets na anatafuta hawa wa Kenya wenzake. Right? And for some very good chance, and what do you call, inaitwa nini hiyo? Kismat ama ni
serendipity.
Serendipity hapana. I think it's just God. They saw each other kwa barabara. Where are you nani? I am nani. Niwe nilikuwa natafuta. They went, they sent me a photo wakiwa kwa cab. And since then she's been safe.
Okay.
With this lady, she's staying there. She left her passport. She left her clothes. She left all her documents.
One of the girls who went to rescue her had been given a car by her boss.
Yes.
So does this mean that there are good bosses in the same Middle East countries?
I don't want to look at the good bosses. I want to look at the people who are dying. That's where my focus is. Because I'll tell you why I'm on that side. Chepkemoi, when she was coming here, Alipoland, there was a bunch of other girls who were leaving. But on the same plane, akikuja, was a body bag of msichana amekufa akiwa wapi? Huko.
Yeah.
Now, the things that lead them to death is bad bosses, malnutrition, being overworked, underpaid. Unasikia dem ati ametoka Kenya, ulichukuliwa na ka agent hapa mtaa, si ndio? Kakwambia hey, we'll sort you, unapatiwa contract. Unaona hey, ni poa. Oh my gosh. Nitakuwa na sijui 50k per month. Hiyo ilikuwa ya kufunga macho ukitoka hapa. The moment you land to the other side, hiyo inachukuliwa, unapatiwa Kiarabu. Unajua vile imeandikwa? Agent anakuambia it's the same thing. It's the same thing we're signing to hapa. Kumbe saa hizo what you're actually signing is like a modern day slavery kind of document. It's called kafala. They call it kafala, where you are literally sold to a household and they go up to 2M, from 1.5 to 2M.
And who gets this 2M kwanza?
Yes, the agents. There's like a whole process of ni agents na sijui ni chafu.
They are technically buying people.
Yes, they are buying people. Kuna jamaa. Can I drop names?
Please.
Anaitwa Juma. There's a devil in horns. With horns. No, do not. Nimbaya. That guy even chapas, and he works in one of the embassies. Yeye ulimambaka hawa madem kuwa chapa.
Na kama umeadvocate for his story for this long, tunaona story ya Diana Chepkemoi and others, but still others are going. Then does it mean tunafaa tuache status quo remain while iendelee kukua vile iko, ama there is something that can be done? And I understand that you had actually created a group, bringing them together to see if, like a union, sort of.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. What happened to that?
There's factors to people who work at the Gulf, at least the group that I was able to put together.
Yes.
This is almost 1,200 with, of course, extra when you're on a Juana. So everyone is sharing my number. You can get help through. So my work is to connect you with someone who is close to you, or to connect with some authority that can help you close to you and get you out of trouble when you need to get out. So what are we trying to say? These people who have been locked in their houses for like 4 years, for 4 months. Kuna wengine wamefungiwa kwa agencies, 6 months wako huko. Chakula ni once, so maybe sometimes even twice a week. Sababu haezi kuachilia uende home. Lazima alipe pesa, ile family ilitoa, ndio uachiliwe uende home. So unafungiwa na agent.
So ile family ikilipa pesa, the one of yenye agent alikula, who pays their salary?
Mdosi ndio ulipa.
Also mdosi anakubai tu kwa agent, but there is a fee they have to pay you every month.
And please note, these girls are now literally sitting there with salaries of 17k a month. Na tulienda kufanya whatever huko.
Na wakitoka huko wanajuanga wanaendeanga.
Waliendanga wakijuanga ni salo ya inaweza saidia familia.
But the people who enable this work on this other side of the Middle East.
It's from here to there. So there's the cartel of agencies here, and then there's a cartel of agencies that side. So huyu anaenda anakuuza, huyu anakuuza kwa famu. So kabla hiyo pesa irudi, sitakuwa ngori.
So kuna madem hata sahi wanapanga wanatafuta opportunities za kwenda huko. So what's in it for them? Because when you post that question unaulizwa, what do you have for them back home? So wewe wenye umedeal na watu wana go through that experience, what do you say to them?
Ufala, please don't go. It's not worth it.
Kwanza, there's a time a government official thanked Saudi Arabia for offering job opportunities to Kenyans. Then tena to counter the narrative, tena the government side wakasema ati it's our girls who are misbehaving uko.
It will be turned around against you. Of course, the moment you tell your boss that you want to leave, it will be turned around against you. Maybe an incident, 1 or 2, ya ukiwa mboch, ukiwa house help ama house tech, ukavaa nguo ya mdosi kama wameenda, ukaiweka TikTok. Right?
Okay.
1, there are very few incidences. But the majority and the most weight is on how these girls are treated by the bosses.
I believe that's a beginning of many conversations to come. Si story ya kumaliza in one day. Otherwise, thank you for the information. Thank you for the good work that you're doing. They can still reach out to you. Ama network yako imejaa.
Yeah. Saizi, nikona, it's a lot of work because, again, I'm doing this by myself without anyone's help. So I do the, Kingori, I do the best that I can, one after the other.
Na reaching out to the, I think, Ministry of Labor, something?
Sikuna
process ya kutengeneza petition na kitu kama hiyo? We can follow that. Tunaweza answer from scratch. I believe there's a procedure.
Maybe we can. Maybe we can. But I feel like if we made enough noise, they will start moving without someone having to call them and say, we are trying to move this to go somewhere. I mean, these girls are dying. Do you care? That's the question I'm going to ask.
I do. Do they? Anyway, wapi makofi Alvan? Asante sana kwa kuja show yetu. Karibu tena na tena.
Thanks.
Asante. That's it for the Weekend Edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.
Make your day taste better with a new street rice pasua for only 490 shillings.
Do you know what was the factor then? It was glory. When that glory comes upon you, things start to happen about you, things that cannot be explained. You become bigger than you look. Hallelujah. But again, you see, the glory of God has come to stay. So you'll never be apart from it.
I was not expecting this. This is when you kiss the bride.
You're the artist and this is the art.
Tumekaa tukiombanga, si hata tupate World Cup. Alipopata hiyo, tumwambia Mungu asante.
As I am talking now, most of them are ladies, but those who are in this camp change their names to be Jebets. They believe that by calling yourself Beatrice or Jebet, you will conquer the world.
This week on Churchill Show.
For real life, watu wa C wanaemploy watu wa A. Nikasomea hiyo C.
Longi ikizeeka sana mwanaume atupangi anakata inakuwa boxer.
Sasa kuna katengo lingine. Hii ni mbaya. Hii ni mbaya. Kungolota na umekonda.
Mulima iko na bahati kunisida. Hii mwaka mulima iliguswa, mimi sijaguswa hii mwaka.
Yaani Kali Club Jones alijijengea shopping mall yake ya kuishi.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together
ulichokosa kwenye gumzo la Sato.
Niliona nikivaa kuna nguo fulani nilikuwa nayo specific dress. Nilikuwa naona hii nguo nikivaa hivi hainishiki vizuri huku. Na nilifanya kitu ambacho inaitwa liposuction, kutoa mafuta kwa tumbo na mgongo, unaongeza kwenye unataka. Procedure ni 690,000 Kenyan shillings. Lakini mimi huambia watu kuwa na 800,000 tu milioni moja.
Ushamaliza kuzaa?
Hapana, sijamaliza kuzaa, niko 24 years young na nitazaa.
Tayari ashajifanya hivi. Kitambo afike miaka 30 atakuwa mpaka meno atakuwa ametoa, ameweka ya yellow kwa sababu kuna kitu kitamsukuma.
What's up, going? Ayo, beautiful people. Now, do you have a plot for the weekend? Kama hauna, don't you worry. We got you covered. We're going to be live at Sarit Center for the 3rd edition of the Kenya Private Schools Expo.
Extra pressure, baby, when you wind and pause.
In studio, we're going to be having the superbly talented Jeff Logan. And on the hangout, All Matters Theatre production at Light International. And on the ones and twos, we're going to be having our very own DJ, Rick Mo.
Ready for burn up warning, somewhere splinter.
Patane, Tin Republic.
Real life nothing that. When the things start to come like a sprinter.
Where did you come from?
Hamlet. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
NTV, turning on your world.
If it is Friday, you know it's time for TTTT. Hello everybody, my name is Nick Kwach, at Nick Kwach everywhere on social media. Hii ni Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wapi, TikTok. Sahi juzi pia nimeingia ingine inaitwa Soyo. I don't know who knows what that is. Sijui anafanyanga nini huko, but I'm learning pole pole. Hello and welcome. Leo usipoona mimi hapa, you know mimi ndio niko hapa. There is no other choice you have. As long as you see rain, as long as you see traffic, just know I'm the one who will be hosting the show. Karibu sana, you'll be helping me to co-host this show because today my panel is lean. You will know why in a minute. But first, let's see the highlights of the stories that made headlines this week.
Leonardo DiCaprio has been called out for his disrespectful act in Fiji. The 50-year-old actor was seen leaving.
Leonardo DiCaprio decided kuficha white after the hotel he was sleeping decided to put up a traditional dance to send him off. Wacha tuseme hao mama wachakacha hawakulipwa. Stick around and hear more on this.
In Kenya are registered by civil registry. That's correct. But that does not entitle them to citizenship. A birth certificate is not an entitlement to citizenship.
Wewe ni Mkenya ama wewe si Mkenya? Immigration Principal Secretary Julius Bitok says a birth certificate in Kenya is not evidence of citizenship. We need more explanation, otherwise utapata watoto wetu are considered as aliens since they don't have IDs. Let's hear more on the other side of the bumper. At the Tread Live, the hashtag is TTTT. At Nick Kwach is my name. I'm being joined by one single panelist. Single in both senses, Hana Mutu, and also single that he is the only panelist that we have tonight.
Leo ni kumoto mazi. Leo ni kumoto mazi.
Leo ni kufire.
Leo ni kufire. I'm telling you, guys wamekelea nini? Wamekelea mvua ati. Oh, you guys, mvua imenifinyia hapa globe.
Yes.
Oh, sijui. Mariam said that ati uko nini? Kunaitwa aje? That junction between Odhaya. Between Odhaya Road and sijui wapi.
Amekoma tu mahali huko.
Amekoma tu mahali huko ati ni mvua. I mean, I don't understand. Ati mvua inafanya jam inatokea.
Mimi kitu mimi nakumbuka how our grandfathers used to take work seriously.
Yes.
You would go to hunt.
Yes.
Ukiwa kuna nyesha hailstorms.
Yes.
What is this that we now all of a sudden we can't run to work? Shewe kidogo, rasha kidogo ushakwama.
Millennials wanafuata mambo ya Gen Z. Imagine you are a millennial na unasema tio mvua imenifungia mahali. Tangu lini? Ulisikia wapi?
Unajua kama kuna kitu moja ya mvua, unless ni flood, mvua haijawahi mtu.
Haijawahi.
Like kidogo tu kunyeshewa hii. Kuja fanya show tutakupuliza hapa na ile.
Lakini for Amina na understand. Just in case alikuja na makeup akinyeshewa anaweza bomoka. So
afiki hapa akiwa smart.
Akiwa tena amefika
sasa kana trend anafanya sio hiyo.
Akiwa abdi sasa. Let's understand Amina.
Amina yote imebaki kwa traffic.
Amina imebaki kwa matope. Nyana matope. Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad to be here.
Dennis Ndenga is with us tonight. Yes. Kwa wale wanamjua, wale wamjua watamjua tu. Let's get straight into the stories. The first story here is a man who has wrongfully been serving a life sentence at Kamiti Maximum Prison since 2007 has been denied freedom after it emerged that his daughter, who was just 7 when he was being sentenced, was coached to frame him for a defilement crime he never committed. The life sentence Daniel Wanyeki Gashoka, who is 59, has been serving was quashed and set aside after his daughter reached out to him while in prison and confessed to having been coached to fix him. However, after being granted freedom by the Kiambu High Court, Mr. Wanyeki has been rearrested and is now being held at Ruiru Police Station for a fresh retrial.
Oh boy child.
Boy child.
Boy child, oh boy child.
Boy child, yaki wewe unaumia.
So unfortunate.
Yes.
That you know, this happened many years ago. Since 2007, how many
17 years old jamaa aliwacha Kibaki akiwa is the president.
Yes, 17 years. And it was a simple thing that I think that one of the brothers
yes. You know, in 17 years ago, the current president bado alikuwa anasumbuana na the late Samuel Kivuitu KIC Dini Anniversary Towers. That's how long ago that 17 years.
Imagine 17 years ago I was 5. So you can just imagine.
We wacha. Kuna sura ukiona. Unajua kuna vitu mbili haziwezi kukuficha.
What do you mean?
Mkono zako na sura yako.
I was 5. 17 years ago I was 5. I'm still children.
You're giving me the vibes zile za Eliud Kipchoge siku alitangaza miaka zake. I'm 25. It's like, hey.
You're
saying something.
Yes, 17 years ago, the brother decided that kwa sababu wanataka kuuza shamba ya nyumbani,
yes,
they decided to frame him so that using the daughters, one was 7 and the other one was 9.
Yes.
So it is so sad that they had to use the daughters so that wamfunge. It's a sad thing that family can do that.
Yes.
But the good thing, the silver lining is that after 17 years, same daughter alikuja akasema, by the way,
it was a lie.
It was a lie. And we are glad that ametoka. First of all, ametoka na hiyo, that one account. So the other account that ameshikwa nayo ndo hatujui ni gani, but at least. But the bottom line, oh boy child,
that one has been dropped. You know,
it's so sad. It's so sad for the boy child that
sometimes
you have to go through this.
Sometimes, personally, I think sometimes it's very the easy part here, because sometimes people will start asking, why? What does it help him with? He has served 17 years. He should sue someone. Someone should compensate. Someone should compensate him for that. But the biggest story here is, as long as you know your conscience and your image has been cleared, that is very important. Because hata kama umereleasiwa and still people think you are the one who did the deed, it does not help you in any way. So the fact that the daughter has come out and said this was all a lie, and now they have figured out that the brothers were the ones who are doing the coaching. And there was once a rule that was being around, I think it's still a Kenyan law, that if you lie and someone is jailed because of what you lied about, then you are also liable to a jail term. I don't know if that is true. Someone should tell us on Twitter or wherever it is they're watching us from, so that we can know. Kama umedanganya mtu akafungwa, ukasema huyu jamaa alinishikia. You know, there is a difference kati ya kuiba mandazi na kuiba mandazi ukinishikia wembe. Kuiba mandazi,
difference, by the way.
Kuiba mandazi
one can
is theft or robbery.
Yes. one can send you to 30 years because ya kushika wembe
or life sentence.
Yes, or life sentence.
Yes.
Na huyu mwingine anaiba mandazi tu hivi kevi yake, anaweza ambiwa aoshe hapo nyuma ya nini? Ya koti na achiliwe aende.
Yes. So there's a law that was saying that if you tukigundua you are lying, umetudanganya na hakuna kitu kama hiyo ilifanyika. And also this goes to the the laws that are around this kind of stories, because now they say of course our laws should principally protect the victims but also protect those who are accused. Because sometimes this also, it happens at such a sad time when we have been having this fight of end femicide and whatnot. And now, stories like this, when they come out, sometimes it rubbishes the genuine stories that have been running out there of people who have been hurt by those they trusted, or people who have been hurt by those who are taking care of them. So now when they are juxtaposed like this, so you feel like one is taking away from the other.
You see the likes of Akina Wamushomba, who are pushing for this femicide and the laws that that will able to govern and trim how watu wanapiga wanawake and all that. As they do that for the femicide, also we need to get men and these legislators, wanaume wenye wanalala tu kwa bunge, to come up with laws that can protect men for such for such acts. That kwa sababu you can imagine for 17 years, labda huyo jamaa sijui jina yake anaitwa nani, Daniel. You can imagine Daniel labda alienda kotini akapatana na a certain lady who was a judge, akujali, akufuatilia vizuri, and our court process and evidence and all these things, they get lost in between. Hakuna mtu anaifuatilia. They were not keen. Also this shows how our courts are. They are not as keen. So you can imagine if we get the MPs and the legislators who can push for the boy child. Otherwise, tutaumia.
Because now people, for those who have been asking, how was he then jailed if there was no sufficient evidence? Because there's that thing of beyond reasonable doubt. But understandably so, the threshold for proving, especially when a minor is the one who's accusing you, the threshold has to be lowered, because the minor is even more vulnerable than mtu mwenye ni mzima. So you understand that sometimes the courts would also fall for it, because if these children were well coached, a 7-year-old is coming out to accuse you. And if this guy is 50, if he's 59 now, that means he was jailed when he was over 40 already. So a 7-year-old is accusing a 40-year-old man, saying that this man has done whatever thing. You have to give the benefit of doubt to this child first before then believing the adult. But this is just our opinion. What do you think? You who's back at home at The Trend Live is our hashtag. No, that's our handle. The hashtag is TTTT on X or Twitter. We will be sampling some of your comments because leo tuko wawili, meaning we need two more panelists. And you are the panelists outside there. So leo tutakuwa tunasema, mimi nasema, Ndenga anasema, and then we soma the comments of panelist X on Twitter. No, panelist X on X. We'll be coming back in a short while. See you in a minute.
Baadaye auntie.
Mkuu, umetufikisha home poa. Asante. Pia wewe pata kakitu ikufikishe home.
Nunua any 280-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate. Visit cadbury.africa uandikie someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
Hammer down prices this Black November. Nakafu. Day 30 of daily crazy offers. Massive deals. Bigger discount. Lower prices. Unbelievable prices. Shop and save more than ever. Nakafu.
Chrissy itadonjo na Voiko. Ukisema pilau ama mchuzi rojo rojo, wet and dry fry hadi nyama choma, hata ukitaka ugali greens. Hey! Na new chili cube pia itabamba. Zote zitadonjo ukieka Royco. Wewe, onjo uamini, Chrissy itadonjo.
The Fire Award Conference will be held on December 5th, 2024 at the Serena Hotel, and the gala dinner held on December 6th, 2024 at the Safari Park Hotel.
And welcome back. Today is a sausage party courtesy of the traffic and the rain outside there. Mvua ikiharibu vitu zingine nje inaharibu hapa ndani pia. The show has been sponsored. This two-man show has today been sponsored courtesy of the naona wengine wameanza kuingia
kwa mwingine anaingia hapa.
Kuna mtu anaingia pole pole ni kama si yeye amechelewa. We will see him in a minute, but before that we will also be sampling some of your views out there. Hello and welcome back to TTTT. My name is Nick Kwach. Today the show is being hosted courtesy of Amina being stuck in traffic, and I'm also here with D Dennis.
Yes.
D Dennis Ndenga.
Yeah, D with the N.
D with an N.
Dennis with the S in between.
Dennis with an S in between.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the so let's go on with the stories unless uko na kitu nataka kutusomea.
Nilikuwa nataka kusoma hapa lakini nimeona hii ni personal.
Yes.
Itakuwa vibaya nikisoma.
Yes.
At Sas M Nelly anasema.
Yes.
Nick Kwach is our host for today. Oh. Na ka emoji ka to love nini hapo hivyo.
You know by the way umesema anaitwa nani?
Ses _Emma.
Sas_Emma. Emma,
yes.
These guys do not believe that you genuinely care when I host this show, that you genuinely are a fan when I host this show. So please spam that handle. Ndio wajue hata mdosi anapitianga hapo #TTTT. And anyone else really who's out there and they like it when this happens, please say it out there. Ndio huyu producer asijaribu kuniambia ati sijui nini. Diana, are we ready to take the third cartel ama tukaikai? Tukaikai kidogo, tupige story moja alafu turudi na yeye, ndio. So now let's talk about Langata MP.
Yeah.
Langata MP Felix Odiwuor Jalango has shared plans to table a motion in Parliament in February to make motor vehicle insurance optional and propose annual refunds for drivers with no claims.
Yeah.
Let's listen into what he said.
Hello, my fellow countrymen. I'm in the office. I'm just finalizing on this bill that I want to table in Parliament. It's called the Motor Insurance Bill 2024. Now, in this bill, I just need to give you a snippet, and I want you to listen to a few proposals that I want to have. Number one is to make sure that motor insurance is not compulsory. Why am I saying that motor insurance should not be compulsory? It is only then when insurance companies will start taking motor vehicle insurance as a serious policy. As we speak in today, if you walk into any insurance company, we have 1,001 people lining up and waiting to be paid their claims after having an accident on a vehicle that they had insured. But we have these people called the claims officers who are employed by insurance companies.
Anasema insurance is a raw deal. It's a raw deal. So
before you go on with what you want to say, kuna jamaa hapa anataka kumwambia, I told you my brother, hamia karibu na Nairobi. Hii kitu at 25,000 inaleta bungalow ukiwa Thika.
Ati anajomine shi home compound manze. Niko ni 3 bedroom manze. Imagine analipa HK. Analipa HK. Ona sasa. Ulikuwa wapi? Umefika kama umechelewa.
Sijachelewa. Sijachelewa. Unajua wale walikuwa wanatembea ndio walifika mapema Nairobi. Watu wote wako na magari kubwa bado wako kwa.
Okay.
Wako na umbrella na gambut.
Wameingia.
Wamefika mapema.
Waliingia mapema.
Yes.
Lakini sijawahi come same place.
Yes.
For karibu risala.
Lisali moja.
Nimekaa hapo kila mtu ni kusema wewe si urudi huko. Wewe najua sijui kwa nini watu hukuwa na hasira. Hata mimi nataka kuenda hapo.
Yes.
So kila mtu wewe toka hapo.
Alright.
Wewe ingia huku. So Jalasa amesema mambo ya insurance, nikakumbuka yangu imeisha leo. So pia nilikuwa nakuja pole tu sababu wakiguza.
Sijawahi ona confession on TV kama hiyo. Baya mimi nashangaa. You know the man confession endesha gari bila insurance. You know this law has not passed, eh? Yeah. But it's just been proposed. So, but hii inanipatia ile vibes ya ati hii nyumba nimeilipa hii mwezi na sijakuwa kwa nyumba. Mbona nalipia? Why am I paying for something I'm not using?
Let me tell you, unaona kusikiza, so if you leave this place with that car, wanakungoja hapo chini. Si yako ni ile KQ. Si ndio?
Hiyo ikikugonga ni shauri yako.
Alitoka kwa ZX ile ya tetanus kwanza sasa hii na mvua. Unajua kuna gari ikikugonga. Haki ukoshua. Kuna gari unahepanga juu ikikugonga tunachanga.
Hata kuna gari unaangalia kwa barabara ukoshua, hii haiwezi kuwa na insurance. Hii ikiniguza atakimbia huyu.
Mnaongelelea aje gari za nini? Za Lavington na Kileleshwa. You know those cars, eh?
They say on cars so that they pay our houses. But anyway, coming back to this story by our honorable legislator, he's saying that now watu wasilipe insurance ikuwe kama health insurance. You know health insurance, you can have it if you want, you cannot have it if you want, ndio kitu kikufanyikia tuchange. That's what he's saying, that this thing is not working, that the rogue agents are not paying people their claims. Uko na comprehensive, unagongwa, wanaenda wanakuambia hiyo ni wewe ulikuwa sijui nini ni wapi, haulipwi. What do you think?
For me, I want to agree and at the same time disagree in equal measure. First of all, I want to agree kwa sababu insurance ukigundua mwaka mzima umelipa more than 50,000 only for you iende hivyo.
Kuna za 50?
Za 50 ni gani? Ni gani? Okay,
comprehensive. 50 si TPO.
Nani wanalipa nini? Si ni third party ndio 50 ama?
Yes. Now you make sense.
Yes. So if you imagine the amount you pay for your insurance, na alafu mwaka mzima ende potele, or those, you know, I have a friend, juzi aligongwa hapa, then he called me akaniambia umefika home? Hapana. Hebu kuja hapa Kabete. Kuja hapa Kabete, nimegongwa. What you know the friend? What you know the friend?
But
so you can imagine.
Bora tunaleta vitu personal kwa TV.
Is it personal? Kwani ni wewe naongelelea? Kwani wewe naongelelea? So you can imagine aligongwa na matatu only for the guy kujilipia. And it's a, you know, comprehensive.
Yes.
And you know, I don't understand how insurance inakuambia ikifika certain amount hatulipi.
Yes.
Chini ya
under certain amount
we don't pay.
That's umesikia Mheshimiwa Jalango akisema that they are paid to make sure that you are not paid.
Yeah.
Akikuja akuji kuangalia kitu yote watakulipaje, no. Everything anaangalia ni huyu atumlipi. So anything unafanya. So unaona wale watu pia, kuna watu pia tena anagongesha gari kidogo. Akisha notice imegongwa hapa na huku kulikuwa, so anagongesha hii side so that itengenezwe pamoja. But again he's talking about third party. Which inalipangwa tu for no reason. Kwa sababu ndio polisi asikusimamishe. You'll never be paid.
No, but is that party? Maybe I'm not the one who understands, and maybe someone out there can explain it to us on Twitter as well. I thought third party means that in case of an accident, it is the person who's been injured that is paid and not the owner of the policy. Isn't that how third party works? That tukigongana na Tom na mimi ndio
gari zetu.
Okay, gari zetu. Gari zetu. Gari yangu na gari ya Tom zikigongana na makosa ni yangu na mimi niko na third party. Isn't it true that mimi third party yangu inafaa kumlipa Tom? Isn't that what happens?
I think watu wa magari no wanaweza jibu. Sisi watu tunatumia matatu. conversation too.
Yeah, because one of the reasons why people were saying that this policy does not take care of everything is because car insurance is not the same like health insurance.
Yeah.
Because health insurance only treats the person who's ailing. Like mimi nikikupatia homa, insurance yangu inaweza kukutibu the way it happens in an accident.
Yeah.
But the reason why car insurance is compulsory, it's because if a situation happens on the road, na mimi sina venye ninaweza kulipa, then I need to have some way that my insurance can come to you and pay you.
Or else kama vile health insurance you can kama hujatumia mwaka mzima, you can decide wacha niende nikaangaliwe meno, niende at least I deplete it before your mwaka ishe. Jaribu kuitumia kidogo, unlike car insurance. Hawezi sema acha nikagongeshe, at least niende niitumie.
No,
so I agree.
But you see,
yeah, you see what would you claims officer wewe? Wanaongelesha hiyo mawe.
The reason huyu jamani alikugonga. Ni wewe uligonga. No, but the reason why they are saying that this thing does not work, what Mheshimiwa is proposing, that where, for example, you have a policy that you only pay 50,000 shillings, like Ndenga was saying, and yet your policy covers you up to 1.5 million shillings, which is the full cost of your car.
Yeah.
So when an accident happens, where do you think the other money, ile 1.45, hiyo yenye wewe upewa, where should it come from if it is not from other policy holders? So as a business, how does it then work if you're only paying this small amount of money and yet you expect? Also, when they make it not compulsory, what then happens in a situation where, mtu amekugonga na hana pesa yenye anaweza kukulipa saa hiyo, na hana insurance pia?
That's why some of these companies, especially these sacco za magari, they decide to use fraud so that they're able to buy other vehicles. Yeah. You remember there's a guy alitupigia story mahali who used to work for an insurance. Akituambia some of these basi kubwa what they do, wanaenda wanagongesha gari.
Ndenga shikilia. Utarudi tuanzie na hii story ya magari zikigongana.
Mambo ya
basi kubwa. Unajua basi kubwa zikigongana.
Inahitaji muda. Zikiwa kubwa hizo.
So what do you think? You on Twitter, you on Facebook, you on whatever app you're on. What do you think? Insurance should be mandatory or not? As the MP of Langata is proposing. We'll be sampling some of your comments when you come back after this short commercial break.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
I'll have whatever he's having.
Real recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit.
Hammer down prices this Black November. Naka Food. Day 30 of daily crazy offers. Massive deals. Bigger discount. Lower prices. Unbelievable prices. Shop and save more than ever. Naka Food.
Any two 80-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate, visit Cadbury.Africa or declare someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
This week on Churchill Show.
For real life, watu wa C wanaemploy watu wa A. Nikasomea hiyo C.
Longi ikizeeka sana mwanaume atupangi anakata inakuwa boxer.
Sasa kuna katengo lingine. Hii ni mbaya. Hii ni mbaya. Kungolota na umekonda.
Mulima iko na bahati kunisida. Hii mwaka mulima iliguzwa, mimi sijaguzwa hii mwaka.
Yaani Khaligraph Jones
shopping mall yake ya kuishi.
This is NTV.
Tonight, the price of politics at a funeral.
Wangetusaidia anga tulipe hazara hii ya viti vilivunjika na vinginevyo.
Akasema hatutaki ada. Bibilioni ward MCA Christopher Ireri still missing.
They saw him being bundled into an unmarked vehicle and was whisked away to an unknown destination.
Also tonight, residents of Kisumu counting losses as flash floods ravage Nyando once again.
Tumeweka mboga mahali tunaweka kwa store, tukiamuka asubuhi tumepata kama maji tumeenda nayo yote.
Plus,
ningependa kuwarai wa Kenya wenzangu kwamba tukubali tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee bila mikopo.
Cash-strapped government's new tax proposals in quest to raise 180 billion shillings. And a treat of tradition and modernity as Lamu showcases its finest.
Nimefurahi kama jamii kuona kwamba mji yenyewe umetabasamu kuwa na mabadiliko. Tutaona kwamba kweli Lamu ni siku ya kaja.
Sights and sounds from the Lamu Cultural Festival.
Skia ni juicy flavors zote tamu tena fruity. Yummy na flow kama maji juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, usijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juni.
Baadaye auntie.
Mkuu, umetufikisha home poa. Asante. Pia wewe pata kakitu ikufikishe home.
Nunua any 2 80-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate. Visit Cadbury.Africa or andikie someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
I was not expecting this. This is where you kiss the bride.
You're the artist and this is the art. The Fire Award Conference will be held on December 5th, 2024 at the Serena Hotel, and the gala dinner held on December 6th, 2024 at the Safari Park Hotel.
And welcome back. The hashtag is TTTT. And watu wanaongea hapo nje. Yes. Oh, first of all, at Nick Kwach, at Dennis Ndenga, at Tom Daktari. Those are our good names. We are here because Amina was stuck in traffic. Just to explain, in case mtu aanze kusema, na hii kipindi, kwani siku hizi mnaokota mtu hapo chini akuja ihost.
Akuja afanye.
Ni leo tu. Ni leo tu. Usitukasirikie, ni leo tu. At Azumi, Ndenga ulisema ninalipana. Huyu pia nimemlipa. Azumi is saying, Kwach, wewe na Mariam Bishar are my favorite panelists. Petition for you two to always be in this thing. What are you saying now?
Bro, hiyo si ni sudo account yako unaita hivyo bro. Hiyo ni sudo account yako.
Do you guys have feedback?
Yes, you have feedback here. Kuna mtu anauliza, na Kwach leo amepaka dye, is a die hard fan.
Ndio maana nilifika mapema kabla mvua ianze.
Anauliza leo.
Wewe ukijeshewa leo. Wow, it will be massacre. Anyway, there's a guy called King Kali 09 anasema wacha tu ibaki mandatory and that's on period. Tuned in from Nax Njoro.
Yes.
I think he's talking about our story.
Insurance.
Another guy called Michael Mitch saying that the case of that man falsely framed is a sign of how the law should be streamlined because males do suffer, especially in the case of mishandled by rogue feminists at judges and cops, especially if they had a bad past by males.
Yes. Tom?
At Kibeta anasema nimekuona town
tuko mahali umetuacha.
Tuko hapa. Hawajasonga. Tuko locked. Umesema jam tuko locked. Tuko locked.
Okay, let's move forward to this. Keep sending more of those tweets. We'll be sampling some of them if we get time. Now let's move to this story. Are you a Kenyan citizen or are you not a Kenyan citizen? Immigration Principal Secretary PS Julius Bitok says that a birth certificate in Kenya is not evidence of citizenship. He clarifies that the document that confirms citizenship is only the national ID acquired after 18 years. All children born in Kenya are registered by civil registration, but that does not entitle them to citizenship. A birth certificate is not an entitlement to citizenship or evidence of citizenship. National ID is what entitles one to be a Kenyan citizen. The law is very clear. That's what he says. I fear for our kids. Sasa.
You know.
No, I think do you have the clip, Diana, ama tuendelee tu? Sawa. Wanasema clip imezama ndani ya maji.
I think huyu jamaa anatuona ni kama
zile sehemu.
Hapana wewe. Huyu jamaa anatuona ni kama atukumbuki GHC. Don't misquote me. Mimi sijaipanda
You can't use those words.
Yeah, and then I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like saying kumbavu zangu and then you don't say the second part.
Mimi sijaiona Subaru karibu na kwangu. So sitaiona leo. Sijaipanda Subaru Outback. Now, I think jamaa anatuona ni kama tukumbuki GHC.
Yes.
We remember our GHC very well.
Yes.
GHC, Tom Daktari, for those people
what was social studies?
Social studies. GHC inamaanisha
GHC inamaanisha
wacha na kutext. But we remember very well that GHC ilikuwa inasema a simple
geography,
line.
history and civics.
Yes. A simple line that you are a citizen by
you can be a citizen
by birth.
You can also be a citizen by registration.
Yes.
By naturalization.
Naturalization, by the way, inamaanisha nini? Ebu explain.
And marriage as well, of course. You can also be a citizen by marriage.
Zinakuanga tatu.
Naturalization, Diana, wanauliza naturalization.
I think ukikaa humu kitangatanga, you can be a citizen.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I think for me, I don't know. What I think the PS was trying to explain and failed terribly at it is you are a citizen of Kenya by birth if either of your parents or both your parents are Kenyan citizens. So for example, if two Tanzanians, Mbosso na mtu wake,
nani?
Wakuje.
Mbosso na nani?
Mbosso na Zuchu. Zuchu is not his person, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But if the two of them come na wabarikiwe na mwana hapa, the child will be registered in Kenya as having been born in Kenya. But the child is not a Kenyan.
Okay.
By being born in Kenya. Okay. So that whatever is being issued is not a confirmation that the child is a Kenyan. It's just a confirmation that the child was registered as a birth that happened in Kenya. So I don't know if this is true, but also what people are coming out to say is in every one of our birth certificates, it is indicated that your parent is either Kenyan or not. 99.99% of us, it's indicated that our parents are Kenyans. So then that means that this document should already qualify you as a Kenyan citizen by the virtue that both your parents are Kenyan.
Yes.
So that means you do not have to wait for your ID after 18 years. Ndio uanze kuambiwa ati nini. But the only part I understood is maybe now I understand why the government could be treating us the way it is treating us. Because it does not consider us as Kenyans.
What you sound like you've been promised a position.
No, I'm just...
Umekaa na PS, umetetea PS sana hapa. Maybe he meant,
this what we had is what he said.
Yes.
You can't change what
it was clear.
Yeah, that was clear. And we know.
Yes.
We know one thing I'm sure of, I will not be shocked nikisikia sasa tunahave kulipa this much. Wachana ile ilitangazwa ya ID.
Yes.
Now I think this paves way for a big announcement ya tunataka sasa ndio ukue Mkenya halisi. Lazima ukue na ID na ukikuwa na ID unalipia hiki kiwango. zaidi ya kile walisema. So I think I'll not be shocked hizi zikianza kukuja kama vitu za kulipia. Also kama vile umesema lazima wazazi wako wawili wakuwe wa Kenya ndio ukuwe Mkenya. Of course mtu ambaye mzazi wake sio Mkenya utamjua, but of course many of us and everyone who met today wazazi wake wamezaliwa hapa. You can't say at Ndenga ati
there's no way Ndenga ni nchi nyingine.
Wewe naweza kuwa South Africa.
Unasikia hata ukisikia mtu mahali alizaliwa. Unasikia Kadhiani. Ni nani anatoka nchi nyingine aende Kadhiani?
Aende Katoloni ama Kandonzweni akazalishe
uende Ochotodong ati wewe unataka tu kukua Mkenya.
Ati amini half caste
ya amini half wa pale mse wa Tingwangi.
Alafu pia uwezi kwa ati wewe ni mzazi wako mwingine ni Mkongo, ni Mkenya tu. Uwezi sema ni. Kuna watu wengine usiwa mix.
Someone said that it is giving Zimbabwe. Do you want us to go to this Leonardo DiCaprio story ama tuachane nayo? Nyinyi mnataka kwenda kuongelelea
tukimbie kidogo kwa
Leo DiCaprio. Okay, sawa. Mtu amesema ati the way I'm reading these papers is like venye mtu alikuwa anaambiwa just read. I know it's getting hotter but just read. I'm apologizing because I'm a blind man, so I'll just read from my pieces of paper. So Leonardo DiCaprio, the great actor, you know him, decided to feature white after the hotel he was sleeping in decided to put up a traditional dance in order to send him off. Sasa wacha tu tuseme wamama wachakacha ni kama kulipwa pesa haikuingia mapema. So sijui, I don't know how far we should go in trying to respect cultures of where we go, because there was the whole discussion of whether this was just a Leonardo DiCaprio performance ama ni hoteli generally mgeni yoyote.
I think
kwa heri Kenya, kwa heri Kenya, kwa heri Kenya.
Ukiniuliza kwa sisi wenye tumelala hoteli kubwa kubwa, normally what happens when you know
unasema Gloria Hotel hapa Ambassador
hiyo ni hoteli. When you go to 5 stars and the rest,
7 star.
We Tom unanielewa umetembea tembea. Wewe umetembea tembea
kwa ukilala lodging za nje.
Kijana. Unajua sasa hivi unatuona kama by the way ile kitu ilikuwa we. Anyway, for such places, ukienda hizo hoteli kubwa kubwa, normally they pride themselves that nani alilala hapa hivi. So I think for Leo ni kama waliingia privacy yake kidogo. You know, labda huyu jamaa aliingia chini ya maji and decided that nitalala hapa hivi. But when he was leaving the hotel, akicheck out ndo akajua kumbe hajui. Kumbe katim kamempangia ya recording fulani kamtandao aka TikTok katauza. I think alikuwa mjanja akajiambia bro, me I'm not here for this. Not today.
Tom, wewe kama mtu mwenye jina na umeendaenda Tanzania sana. Tanzania wako na hizi
by road by the way. Wameenda Tanzania by road. First time no.
Unaenda Kilimanjaro by road.
You see the difference here.
Jamaa anafika Wasafi na tuk-tuk.
Unajua sometimes kuna watu pia wanatembea na watu hawataki waonekane. So kitu ya kwanza umeenda mahali na yeye, alafu unapatana wako hapo akisema wanakurecord.
Dudu wewe bio. Jambo bwana.
So unaona ulikuwa umejipanga umeenda kujificha. That is one. Also kitu ya pili, when I was in a 7 star in Dubai, they tried that thing. I said, hey, you don't laugh like that. It's disrespectful. It will not be allowed here.
Burji Hamina.
But I was point yangu ni ukienda mahali unajua at least watu wengi uchukulia akiona celebrity ni kama umeona mtu wa kawaida. Huyu mtu wa kawaida yeye ukuja anajificha, hautawahi muonyesha mahali. Huyu celebrity ameenda amejificha tu, anataka amani, labda ujui shida zake, labda ujui amekuja kulala hapa kwa nini. Sasa mkishapanga parade akuja inspect.
Na tunajua ni kwa nini, but continue.
No, labda hata unaweza pata hata hiyo hoteli alikuwa amejificha kwa sababu labda ni ya chini for example.
Na labda kwa mtandao amesema amelala kwa hoteli nyingine.
Labda ameshika video ya. Ashaambia watu beach oneni.
Beachfront.
So watu hawaamini. So I think kitu ya kwanza mtu angetoka wangetuma mmoja amwambie, "Hey, how are you? We are requesting if we can."
We are recording.
We are recording because we are doing a part and need for you something.
We are looking for people to sleep here.
Yes.
So we need you in our video so that we make money.
Ama aseme tuko na kasherehe hapa tumefurahia umelala hapa. So, lakini sasa wewe ukitoka tu nje ni
Jambo bwana.
And you know the worst
Jambo bwana kwati. Jambo bwana is universal. How? Unajua
watu wa Fiji wanaimba jambo.
Walikuwa Fiji wanaimba jambo bwana. Sasa by the jambo bwana is national anthem. Hiyo ni world.
Hao watu waliamua Leonardo DiCaprio hajifiji.
Hata afadhali mtu angeenda kama ungefanya interview tu akatae.
But you know, also the other thing as well ni ati these dances zenye zifanyika, whether you are getting into a country or you are getting into a hotel or into an event, I'm yet to find one that is entertaining. Like I'm genuinely entertained. Like I'm wowed. Ati hiyo performance is powerful.
Me I think it walikosea labda Leonardo.
In 10 seconds.
Akiingia,
yes.
Hakupewa towel moto. Unajua ile towel moto mtu pewa na mrija ka juice. Labda kaje nimeingia hapa na mjanipatia towel moto na juice. Wacheni nitoke. Mtaona kama mtanirekodi nikitoka.
Our time is done here. Tunaweza ongea hapa mpaka kesho. Mtu anataka kusema kitu ya mwisho, aambie watu nini. Tom amekuona kwa TV. So you don't need to apologize again.
Nimeshasikia hiyo.
Yes.
But history ya mwisho point yangu ni ukiona celebrity mahali usikimbilie kumrecord. Mimi I've seen people record me even in places that I'm hiding.
You're a celebrity.
I have 2-3 people who know me outside Kenya.
That's a threshold for a celebrity.
But you see,
in Kenya the threshold is low. Unaona ujamani famous TikTok umjui?
Ujui jamaa anafanyanga zile za
alafu anatoa video na gundua hajaona hata moja.
Ati mimi ushinda kwa simu yako nikikuambia simu yangu na kuangalianga. Ona hata
Ujui Hilda Shiko
mpaka anaanza kukuambia ati unaitanga nani?
You are my fan. You are my fan.
So point yangu ni at least ukiona mtu unajua unaonanga mitandao, if you want to record them, request them first. Ask them, inawezekana tunaweza fanya hivi, or hata kama anakuja kwa hoteli yako usianze tena mshaungana tena, labda yeye ako na stress zake anataka kujificha, then hiyo inakuwa sasa si the best place alikuwa kwa.
Si ni sawa.
And it's what happened to Kwach. I'm trying to
si sawa. Si Tom ni pole basi. Whoever recorded Tom,
simu nilimpigia.
Whoever recorded Tom, delete that video. It's worse when someone records you alafu yeye anapata 1 million views na video zako haziendangi. It's just sad. But that's all the time we had today for the show. Amina Abdi Rabawi will be there with you at 10 p.m. because the show itakuwa moto. Niko sure by then traffic itakuwa imefunguka. Mtu yote ataona nini. Amina anaendesha Noah ya yellow. Noah
alishafika narudisha matope. Najua ilinyeshewa na irudisha tena.
Sasa yeye anaosha matope. Alishafunguliwa.
Okay, fresh.
Amina will be there with you at 10 p.m. That's all the time we had. At Nick Kwach, at Dennis Ndenga, at Tom Daktari. Follow us everywhere at TTTT. See you at 10 p.m.
Kote nchini mbele tuendelee, mbele Kenya twende mbele,
Kenya twende mbele. NCBA, go for it.
Nunua any 2 80-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate. Visit Cadbury.Africa or give someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
I have thought of this business for so many years, but when I decided to apply license through eCitizen, I got all the approvals from KRA, Health, County online. Even when filing returns and renewing licenses, eCitizen, service bila stress.
eCitizen, service bila stress.
This is NTV.
You're watching NTV Weekend Edition live from the Nation Media Center. Very good evening to you and many thanks for joining us on this last Friday of the month of November. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Let's begin with the news making headlines. The price of politics at a funeral.
Wangetusaidia anga tulipe hazara hii ya viti vilivunjika na vinginevyo.
Akasema hatutaki ada.
Bibirioni Ward MCA Christopher Ireri still missing.
They saw him being bundled into an unmarked vehicle and was whisked away to an unknown destination.
Also tonight, residents of Kisumu counting losses as flash floods ravage Nyando once again.
Tumeweka mboga mahali tunaweka kwa store, tukiamuka asubuhi tupata kama maji tumeenda nayo yote.
Plus,
ningependa kuwarai Wakenya wenzangu kwamba tukubali tulipe ushuru tujitegemee bila mikopo.
Cash-strapped government's new tax proposals in quest to raise 180 billion shillings. And a treat of tradition and modernity as Lamu showcases its finest.
Nimefurahi kama jamii kuona kwamba mji yenyewe umetabasamu kuwa na mabadiliko. Tutaona kwamba kweli Lamu ni siku ya kata.
Sights and sounds from the Lamu Cultural Festival.
NTV Weekend Edition with Michelle Ngele Obdiambo.
Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. David Agondoa is the sign language interpreter. Now tonight, the family of the late Erastus Muigai, whose burial was disrupted by political confrontations on Thursday in Limuru, is seeking help to cover losses incurred during the commotion. It is an incident which has brought to the fore the price of playing politics at funerals, with leaders now calling for tougher sanctions. This comes amid claims that missing area MCA Christopher Ireri was abducted by unknown people. NTV's Margaret Kimathi will bring us that report in the course of this live broadcast. Meanwhile, it is a season of heavy rainfall once again, and the effects are ravaging various parts of the country. Residents of Nyando in Kisumu County have been forced to seek alternative refuge after flash floods have swept their homes, schools, and businesses, akin to the situation experienced in May. Our Western Region reporter Judith Cherono Omonti caught up with the affected families and filed this report.
For almost 2 weeks now, heavy downpour has been experienced in Kisumu County. The result, of which has been River Nyando busting its banks. Now, most of those living within Nyando sub-county are counting losses to property and livelihoods. Hundreds of families from Kapothe village have since been displaced and are now seeking refuge at St. Vitali's Nanga Primary School. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Wakaaji wa huku wako na shida kubwa sana. Hata kwa barabara ni shida, kila mahali imejaa maji. Lakini sana sana wangeangalia way forward ya hii river. Wasaidia watu. Juu kama mtu alikuwa anaenda emergency, let's say anapeleka mgonjwa mahali fulani. Hawezi pita, hawezi enda, itabidi achelewe ama hiyo gari isimame hapo mpaka maji ishe.
Tumeweka mboga mahali tunaweka kwa store, tukiamuka asubuhi. Tumepata kama maji tumeenda nayo yote. Sasa sijui tufanyaje. Saidia sisi.
But the school compound is already waterlogged and they worry that soon it may not be safe.
Chakula shida, ugonjwa naye imetuweka hapa. Sasa sisi tumeweka tumacho tunalilia vijel elder wetu tunamlilia. Serikali kama anaweza tuona na macho moja, atuona pia sisi tunapiga kura. Asubuhi mapema tushatoka kwa nyumba.
The risk of waterborne diseases is high.
We have a lot of people who are sick. Some of them are now bedridden. They are coming in, we don't have toilets. They are only using 2 doors toilet, then supposed to be used by the teachers. The ones that are supposed to be used by the children are already submerged in water behind there. You cannot even access them.
The elderly ones who are struggling, to even sleep on the floor.
They are in need of medicine and food. And of course they say they need a lasting solution from both the county government and the national government. Judith Tereno, Mondi, NTV, Nanga Primary School, Kisumu Central.
Well, let's revisit our top story tonight, where the family of the late Erastus Muigai, whose burial was disrupted by political confrontations on Thursday in Limuru, is seeking help to cover losses incurred during the commotion. It is an incident which has brought to the fore the price of playing politics at funerals, with leaders now calling for tougher sanctions. Here's Margaret Kimathi with that report.
Dominic Muigai tends to his son's grave hours after his chaotic interment on Thursday. An event that was meant to accord Erastus Muigai last respects turned violent, leaving the family to their own devices. Things went south at Bibirioni High School, where the peaceful funeral service was taking place when unknown individuals disrupted the ceremony by hurling objects and chairs, forcing mourners to scamper for safety. Dominic believes they are more than meets the eye.
Mimi nilisikia wengine walipokuwa wametoka Kikuyu. Kulikuwa maofisa wengine wanafaria kiraia. Hii mambo inajulikana. Hii mambo inajulikana.
As he collects the remaining pieces of chairs and tents destroyed on Thursday, the family is asking for help to cover the losses, Dominic urging the police to conduct a thorough investigation and bring the culprits to book.
Wale ambaye wataweza kuwa na huruma juu ya sisi wangetusaidia anga tulipe hazara hii ya viti vilifunjika na vinginevyo.
Meanwhile, members of the Kiambu County Assembly are claiming that Bibirioni MCA Christopher Ireri was abducted by unknown individuals in the fracas and his whereabouts are still unknown.
Tumekuwa na shida ya kimawazo, kosa kura, shida ya kufikiria kwani angekuwa ako wapi.
Efforts by the county assembly and his family to trace him have been unsuccessful, as he is not reachable on his known mobile phone number, which has been switched off since his disappearance yesterday.
Earlier Friday, the National Police Service denied claims they had arrested former Limuru MP Peter Mwadhi over the chaos witnessed at a burial event on Thursday. According to a statement from the Office of the Inspector General, the police on Friday said Mwadhi is not a person of interest in the case. Meanwhile, Kiambu Senator Karongo Thango failed to appear at DCI offices in Nyeri after being summoned to record a statement regarding Limuru incident. The summon indicated that the senator might have information crucial to the investigations into the disturbance. But Dhangwa, through lawyer Ndegwa Njiru, has criticized the summons, claiming he has no facilitative information that would aid investigations. Police say they will soon crack the whip.
A team of DCI officers are on the ground carrying out investigations, and at this moment, statements from the family have been taken.
Leaders have also asked Inspector General Douglas Kanja to swing into action.
To do proper investigation. We don't want political violence in our country. We want tolerance. Tunataka upendo.
Ni tuwe wangwana na tuheshimu familia zilizofiwa, tuheshimu kanisa, tuheshimu wananchi. Zile siasa wanataka kufanya za kujitafutia ile tunaita kwa lugha ya kimombo sympathy, pia wasiende kutafuta kwa mazishi ya watu ama kwa makanisa.
Margaret Kimathi, NTV.
Elsewhere, the government is yet again urging Kenyans to support the new tax proposals, which, if passed by Parliament, will be collected from early next year. Spokesperson Isaac Maura now says government is facing a deficit of more than 340 billion shillings in revenue collections if no new taxes are introduced to plug the deficit, while ruling out borrowing. NTV's David Mudhoka with more from the government's Friday dispatch.
A day after public participation on 4 new tax bills ended, the government appears to be hell-bent on new tax measures starting next year, despite many Kenyans overwhelmingly rejecting any attempts to introduce new taxes in the public participation exercise. On Friday, government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura defended the 4 tax bills that contain some of the proposals that Kenyans rejected during the deadly Gen Z-led protests.
Tuna nakisi kubwa sana ya bajeti, na ningependa kuwarai wa Kenya wenzangu kwamba tukubali tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee bila mikopo, hususan tukiangazia swala zima kwamba tulipoteza ule mswada wa finance bill. Hiyo ni kumaanisha kwamba hatukuweza kukusanya zaidi ya kitita cha shilingi bilioni 346. Hivyo basi ni kusema kwamba tukiweza kupasisha hii miswada minne ambayo imependekezwa na wizara tofauti tofauti, tutaweza kuhakikisha kwamba tunaweza kukusanya zaidi ya shilingi bilioni 179, shilingi bilioni 180.
When asked for proof that the government has actually cancelled its deals with Indian conglomerate Adani Group, as announced by President William Ruto, Mwaura is asking those questioning to move on.
Watu wanasema kwa nini tujaona ile ripoti ambayo kusema kwamba hiyo kandarasi imeweza kusitishwa. Lakini ningependa kusisitizia kwamba waziri wa fedha John Mbadi ameweza kutoa hakiki kwamba jambo hili limeweza kufanyika. Kwa hivyo limeafiki. Na hilo jambo sasa tuweze kulikomesha, watu watoe maoni mbadala kuhusu vile ambavyo tutaweza kuwa na uwanja wa ndege na pia kuwa na miundombinu ya nishati.
The government spokesperson further denies Adani's hand in the Social Health Authority digitization program through subsidiary companies.
Unajua kuna makatela ambao lazima waingize Adani kila mahali. Hakuna Adani katika mfumo wa SHA. Roni, hakuna hata kidogo. Kwa hivyo hizo zingine nitasema ni stories za jaba na jazba.
On the controversial livestock vaccination program, which opposition leaders term as a clever plan to wipe out all livestock in the country, government insists it is voluntary.
Tunatumai kuwa na chanjo ya mifugo zaidi ya milioni 22 kote katika kaunti zetu za Kenya. Na hili ni jambo zuri, na ndio ndiposa tunasema wanyama wote waweze kusajiliwa, tujue kwamba mfugo huu ni wa nani, ng'ombe yako ni ya nani, ina alama ipi. Na ni jambo waingesema itaongeza gharama, lakini ni jambo tu unalifanya kwa urahisi na linakwisha.
David Muthoka, NTV, Nairobi.
President William Ruto has arrived in Arusha, Tanzania for the 24th Ordinary Summit of the East African Community Heads of State, which will be marking 25 years since its revival. The meeting is expected to dwell on the sustainable financing plan of the bloc, with the constitution of the Political Confederation of the East African Community also featuring in the two-day session. President Ruto will be joined by the host President Samia Suluhu and all other heads of state of the East African Community. The celebration presents an opportunity for the leaders to take stock of the bloc's achievements, challenges, and the future of integration. And visitors from various parts of the world have flocked to Lamu Island for the 22nd edition of the Lamu Cultural Festival. The festival, which takes place annually, provides an opportunity for locals to showcase their culture through traditional dances, donkey races and dhow competitions. Our course reporter Yugen Nambeka with the details.
This year's festival, which concludes Saturday, has thrilled visitors from across the globe with the experience of Lamu's unique cultural heritage. According to locals, the 22nd edition has revitalized the town, offering a prime opportunity to promote culture while earning a living through sales and services.
Tumefurahi kama jamii kuona kwamba mji yenyewe umetabasamu kuwa na mabadiliko. Tutaona kwamba kweli Lamu ni siku ya culture na ni faida kubwa sana ambayo inaingia katika siku hizi mbili ama tatu ambazo zitaendelea katika culture ya Lamu.
During the festival, guests witnessed traditional dances and learned about the history of the Bajuni community, the indigenous people of the coastal area. Major attractions here include the donkey and dhow races, which involve young participants showcasing their skills. At the festival, a call for peace was resounding, urging the youth to refrain from harmful vices. Lamu County Commissioner Wesley Koech saying those caught causing disruptions will face legal action, with police conducting patrols throughout the island.
Na hii serikali ya county tutangaza kwamba mtu asitembee na panga, fimbo, kisu, hata kijembe. Sasa hiyo watoto wameingia tayari, mtu anatembea na panga kinoni, na wageni wetu wamekuja. Wageni ni wetu, Lamu ni wetu, culture ni yetu. Sifurahi ondra sira, gavana ametuwekea tufurahi, sio si vita.
Kwa vijana wani walete amani katika hasa event kama hii ya culture, ndio itapata kuleta wageni wengi culture inaokuja.
Earlier, elders had raised objections to the invitation of artists from neighboring Tanzania, particularly bongo artists, insisting on traditional music instead. Despite this, festival organizers have announced that Tanzanian artists D-Voice and Yami will entertain attendees during Saturday's closing at Mkunguni Square. Yugen Nambeka, NTV.
The government has committed to paying media pending bills amounting to over 1.7 billion shillings in a bid to strengthen media freedom and avert job losses in the industry. Speaking during the 7th Annual Editors' Convention in Nakuru, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki also promised to ensure the safety of journalists. Kindiki says action will be taken against the officer who shot Nakuru-based MediaMax journalist Catherine Wanjeri while covering the anti-government protests in July this year. The Kenya Editors Guild has given 6 proposals to the government, among them the withdrawal of restrictive media advertising directives, expediting the appointment of the Media Council Board, and empowering the Media Complaints Commission to operate at full capacity. The 3-day convention has also delved into emerging trends in media brought about by advancements in technology.
I see several strands of conversations that we ought to have
and they relate to existential questions around the media. So when we talk about media sustainability, I think we need to look at all these drivers of the threats that we face.
The African media fraternity is looking up to Kenya as they chase just one vision, which is how might Africa tell its own story.
We urge the government to recommit itself to the protection of media workers as they perform their constitutionally mandated duties. 2, withdraw restrictive advertising directives. We urge the government to take steps to reverse the recent directives by the Ministry of ICT on centralized government advertising, which unfairly disadvantages certain media houses.
For the journalist who was hurt here in this city, that is quite unfortunate. So I will be following up on where we are, and I want to undertake, Madam President and the rest of the colleagues here, that we are going to follow up to ensure justice is done and establish who did this and bring that person to account. I can commit that we are doing all we can to clear in its entirety the portfolio of the pending bills in the media industry.
The death toll from a landslide triggered by heavy rain in eastern Uganda has climbed to 17, with more than 100 others still missing. At least 45 households are completely buried, while others remain partially damaged. The landslide occurred in Bulambuli district, about 300 kilometers east of the capital, Kampala, and buried dozens of homes across several villages, with vast areas covered in deep mud where homes and schools once stood. The Ugandan government has directed citizens living in landslide-prone areas to relocate. The Red Cross and police are conducting a search and rescue operation. The East African nation has been hit by unusually heavy rainfall since October that has triggered widespread flooding and landslides in some areas. Large swaths of slopes in Ugandan mountains have been denuded of their forests and vegetation for arable land, increasing the risk of landslides. Well, that report brings us to a break on NTV Weekend Edition. Much more making headlines, including the day's business, after the break. Just stay with us.
Star 570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na JBL Party Box. Hiyo boom experience pia iko.
Show off your best skin with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion with 5-in-1 complete care. The deeply nourishing formula prevents your skin from drying with precious cocoa butter and deep moisture for smooth and healthy looking skin.
Skia, ni juicy. Flavors zote tamu tena fruity. Yummy na flow kama maji, juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, usijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juni.
New Downy refill pouches, lasting longer than expensive perfumes. Cap, store, and no need to add water. Serve with a Downy refill.
Hey, ungependa kuwa mshindi na Lucky Box? Ni rahisi sana.
Bonyeza *463# uwe mshindi.
Kuna vitu vingi sana vya kushinda,
kama vile TV, kuka, washing machine, fridge, kipiki, pesa, na hata gari, na sio gari tu, Subaru.
Na kuna jackpots kadha wa kadha. Kuna power jackpot ya 1.9 million.
Mega jackpot 2.5 million.
Na super Sunday ya 3 million Kenya shillings. Kila mtu anaweza kuwa mshindi. Bonyeza *463#. Uwe mshindi.
Kuchagua box ni kuchagua chapa.
Kumbuka, kila unapocheza Lucky Box unasaidia watoto kusoma. This week on Churchill Show.
For real life, watu wa C wanaemploy watu wa A. Nikasomea hiyo C.
Longi ikizeeka sana mwanaume atupangi anakata inakuwa boxer.
Sasa kuna katengo lingine. Hii ni mbaya. Hii ni mbaya. Kungolota na umekonda.
Mulima iko na bahati kunisida. Hii mwaka mulima iliguzwa, mimi sijaguzwa hii mwaka.
Yaani Club Jones alijijengea shopping mall yake ya kuishi.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at the day's business news. And inflation rose marginally to 2.8% in November from 2.7% posted in the previous month, marking the first uptick since August. Kenya National Bureau of Statistics data showed food and non-alcoholic beverage prices, which comprise a third of the inflation basket, accelerated to 4.5% from 4.3% as prices of vegetables such as cabbages, carrots and potatoes rose. However, commodity prices in the transport sector fell by 1.1%, helping keep inflation comfortably below the Treasury's target range midpoint of 5%. The state's desired inflation range is between 2.5 and 7.5%.
With the festivities now behind us,
the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board is now looking to accelerate the transition of all public sector entities to accrual accounting from cash accounting within the next 3 years. This follows the launch of the board's new strategic plan, which places emphasis on transparency and accountability within the public sector. The National Treasury has set 2027 as a sunset date for all public sector entities to transition to accrual accounting, a move designed to seal fiscal leakages and help Kenya tame the runaway pending bills, currently valued at 600 billion shillings. The board's new strategic plan was launched in Nairobi on Friday morning and covers the period to 2027.
Through the previous strategic plan, the board developed modern internal audit manuals, generic process audit programs, and prescribed public sector risk management guidelines. These resources have empowered internal auditors to adopt standardized practices, enhancing value addition through a risk-based approach.
Benson Sande Ndeta, Savannah Cement Limited proprietor, has been detained at the Muthaiga police station awaiting ruling on bond and bail on Monday over the $35 million Absa Bank fraud. Principal Magistrate Gilbert Shikwe ordered the accused to be remanded at Muthaiga police station. Defense lawyers allege that the accused is a victim of business competition after successfully bidding for the takeover of Kenya's giant cement company, Bamburi Cement.
It is unfortunate that a local like all of us here is being frustrated because of borrowing money to do industry in our country. He was proposing to buy off Bamburi Cement, and we know that there are competitors who are behind this harassment. We know that he has not committed any offense. After all, if you borrow money, there are conditions. If a bank gives you money, then there is a collateral. Has he flouted the collateral? Has the bank complained? So we are asking ourselves, is it because Amson's, who is competing with Savannah Clinker to buy off Bamburi, has some powerful people behind them, or what is happening?
Stanbic Bank Kenya and KBL have today announced a partnership to jointly plant 1 million trees in 5 years, contributing to carbon emission reduction, job creation, and socio-economic growth. Leveraging both brands' shared sustainability goals, the pact will also include activities centered around sustainable development that will see the two organizations collaborate towards accelerating Kenya's green economy. The move comes at a time when more organizations, apart from listed entities, are on a sustainability and environmental offensive in line with the new reporting standards.
We are also steadfast in protecting Kenya's critical water towers, which sustain over 70% of the country's population and generate nearly half of Kenya's renewable energy. To date, we've invested over 75 million shillings in the Upper Tana Nairobi Waterfront Trust, contributing to the preservation and protection of the critical Upper Tana water catchment.
So the journey for me, I would say, is more like creating a snowball effect. Today we are saying it's a commitment for 1 million trees today, but you don't know what that will be. It takes time to build a partnership of this nature because you're looking for organizations that have got a similar value, convictions, ambitions, and can concentrate on this ambition in the long term. And that's why it took a bit longer. Now, you will get a chance to catalyze many other organizations. So, Priscilla, there's more work, even in the financial sector. By the year 2030, 2040, will be 500 million people within the region. But Nairobi is a lens that shapes the destiny of our people. So this kind of partnership just can go beyond, not just here, but across the Horn of Africa.
That's the latest in the world of business, bringing us to another break on the broadcast. Much more still to come. Do stay with us.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
I'll have whatever he's having.
Real recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit.
Rahisisha uwezo wako wa ushindi kwa kukuwa memba wa Loto Moto na ni rahisi. Dial *570#. Ukiwa memba ni rahisi kufika kwenye jukwaa hili ili kujaribu mchezo wetu wa Loto Moto Show. Na pia kama memba unajipa nafasi rahisi ya kuingia kwenye promotion zetu zinazokupa nafasi ya kujishindia chapaa na zawadi kibao kama TV, friji, pikipiki, mashamba na pia magari. Kuwa memba ni *570#. Tushinde kama members.
Hammer down prices this Black November. Nakafu! Day 30 of daily crazy offers. Massive deals. Bigger discount. Lower prices. Unbelievable prices. Shop and save more than ever. Nakafu!
The Financial Reporting Fire Award is the most prestigious and coveted award in East Africa for financial reporting. The award is aimed at promoting excellence in financial reporting through enhancing accountability, transparency, and integrity. The Fire Award Conference will be held on December 5th, 2024 at the Serena Hotel, and the Gala Dinner held on December 6th, 2024 at the Safari Park Hotel.
Any two 80-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate. Visit Cadbury.Africa or andikie someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
Christmas ni sahi, ishafika na ni kubwa kubwa. Kweli? Hii Kristi ni bomba na Blue Santa kupitia *570# option 1. Rudia. *570# option 1. Iko PlayStation 5 na 55-inch TV na iko 500,000 Kenyan shillings. Nambuzi moja? Nambuzi. 1 million Kenyan shillings na Samsung S24 Ultra. Nambuzi moja? Iko 2 million Kenyan shillings na iPhone 16 Pro Max. Nambuzi mbili? Blue Santa amekuja na zawadi kibao. Nani kubwa kubwa?
Hapa kuna ndogo ndogo. Hapa Christmas ni bomba.
Welcome back. Killing of women in Kenya has almost become a national disaster, with 97 women murdered in the months of August, September and October alone. And as the 16 days of activism continues across the globe, NTV gathered experiences from Oxfam-funded Kudeha and Teen Seed and filed the following report.
Our conversation begins with Winnie Obure. The founder of Teen Seed Africa is a story of resilience.
As a teenager, I was abused and it was horrible. Like, no one deserves to be abused ever in their life. But when that happened, I didn't have the necessary support that I needed to go through, you know, just that, the ordeal. And so as part of gosh, it is horrible. I just don't even want to think about it. Yeah, I thought I can like really speak about it, but it's still.
Winnie would establish the Teen Seed Africa, a community organization that works with young girls and adolescent women on issues around sexual reproductive health, sexual gender-based violence, and economic empowerment. She founded it 18 years ago as a teenager after the experience of abuse.
As a teenager, I was abused many times, and the worst ordeal was when I was in high school, in Form 3, where a family friend defiled me, and that was horrible. It's not something I would wish on anybody. So after that, I dropped out of school because the family friend was helping to pay part of my school fees. Like, I come from a really, really humble background, and he took advantage of me, right? And that was difficult. So in response, I started Teen Seed because as a teenager, you're not a child, you're not an adult, you are a teen. That's how the name came, like Teen Seed, because we believe that teens are seeds of greatness and that they need to be nurtured and mentored and supported and watered and given all the support and opportunities they need to thrive.
The Kenya Union of Domestic Hotels, Educational Institutions, Hospitals and Allied Workers is a trade union advocating for safety of domestic workers. Kudeha believes domestic workers are most vulnerable in society, having to work in the private homes. According to Joanne Gloria, the Assistant General at the union, they do not have the luxury of safety terms that other workers may be getting.
No one is allowed to work into a private home of an employer to maybe do an inspection on their terms, on their environment, how they're being treated by their employers. So this is quite important for us because we want to let the world know that domestic work is work and it should be recognized to be given its good terms or decent work that it deserves.
Joanne painting a further picture of a dire situation.
Just the other day, we saw that a nanny, a domestic worker, who jumped out of a storied building because of the violation she was going through by her employer. So this one, we first of all, as a union that represents workers, we want to condemn that kind of action with the strongest terms possible because that is a human, for crying out loud.
It is for troubled victims like such that Winnie's organization targets, if only to offer refuge after traumatic experiences.
We work in the communities, in the informal settlements like this one in Kiambio, with male champions of change. So we identify young men in the community, and we train and support them. We identify, mentor, support, train, and work with young men who are change makers in communities to help create awareness around gender-based violence and to, promote women's rights in informal settlements and rural areas. So we do our sexual violence work in 3 ways. The first one is prevention. So under prevention, we work with the male champions and other community actors and key influencers in the community to largely do prevention. Number 2 is we do response and rescue. So we run 3 different shelters. The first one is for teenage girls, so below 18 years, who have been abused, so they are survivors of violence. And we also run what we call the Freedom House, which is a shelter for abused women who are 18 years and above. And we have a transitional safe space where we take in girls or teenage girls when they are at risk or they're abused, and it's either late in the night or it's over the weekend or it's at a time when they cannot be referred to like a shelter. The other part of the work we do is to do restoration. So we support survivors of sexual violence, both teenagers and younger women and young women, to reintegrate back in the community.
But providing such safe spaces comes with a fair share of challenges, they tell us.
As we talk of elimination of harassment and violation and harassment in the world of work, our country also, our government has not ratified the Convention number 190 that speaks into elimination of harassment and elimination of violence and harassment in the world of work. I have said earlier that domestic work is work.
The challenges I used to see then, the issues I used to see then, the abuse, the violence, the sexual harassment is still happening now. And even more is, the fact that women are even more killed according to, statistics. Femicide is on the high.
Vinny says the failure by the system to arrest and prosecute perpetrators is aiding and abetting gender-based violence. Victims have to contend with interacting with their abusers long after their ordeal. This, they say, is the height of trauma.
The justice system in this country takes a very long time. So from the time it is reported to the time justice is served would take like approximately 5 years. And that's so much trauma that a survivor is living with, going to court every other time.
Joanne believes that while the incidents are criminal, the cause is a moral decay in society, which must be nipped from the bud if the situation is to be contained.
Would really wish to have a change of attitude and probably a change of culture on how we see women, the social norm that we have believed in our societies that women probably are not people of less deserving, or they're not equal to the task that are accorded in their society, or there are people that do not deserve to get any rights, so that is why we want to say that within this period for 16 days of activism against violation on women or this particular gender, we speak of safety for women across the globe and mothers also.
As we are celebrating these 16 days of activism, I would want to tell everyone to always speak up. Like, do not keep quiet when you're seeing violence happening. Whether it's just as slight as, what has been normalized in the community. Always speak out. When anything is happening to you, to your neighbor, to someone you know or you don't know, anytime you see any gender-related harassment or gender-related violence, report it immediately. Everybody has a role to play, the policymakers, the community organizations like ourselves, the donor community, philanthropists, and thanks to people like Oxfam.
The 16 days of activism is an opportunity to revitalize commitment, call for accountability and action from decision makers. It runs from the 25th of November to the 10th of December.
Well, that's 16 days of activism against gender-based violence calls for people to break the cycle of violence. Let's take a break here on NTV Weekend Edition. Much more still to come. Do stay with us.
Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion with 5-in-1 complete care. The deeply nourishing formula prevents your skin from drying with precious cocoa butter and deep moisture for smooth and healthy looking skin.
Tarehe 4
On 4th
hadi tarehe 15
up to 15th of December.
mwezi wa 12 Mungu anatupa nguvu kupitia kwa damu na mwili wa mwanawe.
Huduma zaidi ya 20,000 login kwa mtandao, hakuna soli.
eCitizen service bila stress, come tukupange service bila stress, tukupange service bila stress, come tukupange service bila stress, tukupange.
Ingia
eCitizen service bila stress.
Did you know Progressive Credit offers quick loan processing within 24 hours, business loans, logbook loans, school development loans, and civil servants loans with flexible requirements and dedicated staff?
Contact us today on 0700-600-900. Progressive Credit, taking every step with you. Regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Churchill Show.
For real life, watu wa C wanaemploy watu wa A. Nikasomea hiyo C.
Longi ikizeeka sana mwanaume atupangi anakata inakuwa boxer.
Sasa kuna katengo lingine. Hii ni mbaya. Hii ni mbaya. Kungolota na umekonda.
Mulima iko na bahati kunisida. Hii mwaka mulima iliguzwa, mimi sijaguzwa hii mwaka.
Yaani Club Jones alijijengea shopping mall yake ya kuishi.
Welcome back. Now, sneakers culture is stepping up in Kenya, quite literally, with collections becoming more than just fashion statements. They've become a lifestyle. Tonight on 12 Minutes, we take you inside one of Nairobi's most unique sneaker closets. While it may not be the biggest, it certainly stands out for its style and its story. This special feature was produced by Marion Sitawa and John Milibo. Let's lace up and take a look.
They say good shoes takes you to good places. Today we're with Mr. Grant to get to explore his shoe collection, hear his story, and get a glimpse of what it looks like. We are finally here at the Sneakers Hub, and I will say, on my right, on my left, such an impressive view of these legit kicks. Let's get to know about his love for shoes.
My name is Grant, Mr. Sneakerbox on Instagram. I have been collecting shoes for about 2 years. Growing up, I never really had the access to have such a nice collection, obviously. Working class family. So now that I'm able to afford them for myself, I have been collecting solidly for like 2 years. I have a family here in Nairobi. My wife is a Luya lady. We met in the UK. We have 2 kids who are also like growing up, enjoying the sneakers so far. They have their own, and yeah.
How many kicks are we looking at here?
So I would estimate that just in my own list, there's around 50 pairs of shoes here.
How has it been from the execution to the inspiration behind you just getting all these shoes?
So it's a lot of online research. I mean, I'll admit I loved the documentary, about Michael Jordan, The Last Dance. Around that time when that came out, I really got into the specific models like these ones up here, the red ones, because those were like the classics. And then I just found myself like with 1 or 2 pairs, and I was thinking, I like this one, I like this one. I'm seeing them online. I was looking at what's most popular, the different options, and I guess just building out almost like a list of shoes that I was looking to find. And then from there, it's just been a space of seeing what I can get. Obviously, it can be tough sometimes. They sell out fast or they're not available. So yeah, it's a bit of a hunt. There's a bit of a thrill to going out and finding them.
You've got an impressive lineup of Travis Scott there. Probably, which is your favorite?
These up top are my favorites. Took me a long time to find them. I was hunting for them for a long time, and then one day I found them online, got lucky. I really like them because it's kind of a collaboration between Travis Scott and the Fragment brand. I mean, when you see Travis Scott, obviously you've got the reverse swoosh, and the normal Fragment shoes are also blue and black and white like this, but they're, sort of Travis, if you could say that as a word. So yeah, I think that's my favorite. And obviously there's the low version of it as well, so close second.
I just realized I wore the same pair of shoes.
Yes.
Such a coincidence, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like this shoe, so you do have good taste. They're my wife's shoe. She's had them for about, maybe this is one of her first shoes that she purchased as well in this Jordan 1 style. But that has obviously grown a little bit since. I mean, her side of the closet is this side, and you can kind of see that she tends to favor these SB Dunk styles. She's got quite a few of those going across the top row in different colors. I was very jealous that she managed to get these grey ones before me because I like them so much. That was call it a grail. That was my grail for a long time. It's like a highly coveted shoe. She obviously has some Jordan ones as well. And then she's got her Travis Jordan ones and these other Jordan ones. On these corners here, opposite sides, she has some Air Force ones. And then she also has these Jordan ones. She does wear these less, so they're like almost in perfect condition. It's a UNC blue Jordan 1.
I tend to be very picky when it comes to colors of the shoes, and I look back at my closet, I'm like, what would I pair it with? Take this shoe. It has very, very, very loud colors. How would you say you pair such colors?
So that was a thought before I bought them. Obviously, bright yellow is hard to pair. And if you wear too much bright yellow too much, you're gonna look like Easter. So I tend to dress more muted up top. I'll wear like blue jeans or some like sort of darker colors, blacks. I do have some like basketball jerseys, and I have one that has yellow, so sometimes I will, you know, throw this on with that, just because it has like yellow that matches. But yeah, I tend to go more muted than loud, because yeah, it's quite a bright color. This was a collaboration between Nike and Zion Williamson, the basketball player. They're called Voodoo Jordan 1s. And yeah, they are. They've got like little details all over. Like they've got these kind of like voodoo symbols, and then they've got like the Nike logo upside down. You can see there's like rustic things in the form of the stitching, and the logo at the back is upside down, and as well it can even sort of turn out like that, and you can see a bit more of you know, some details. Obviously I mentioned Zion, that's what that says on the back. I'm not sure a situation that I would wear them with this flipped up, but it's I guess
Can you wear them with that flipped up?
You can, but I'm saying I think I don't see a situation where I've done that so far. Yeah, just a fun fact. Before I forget, I do have this closet here. It's just because I've run out of space over there, but I do have some additional pairs. I like these Jordan 3s. These are mine. There's a music artist called J Balvin, sorry, not Rio. The shoe is called Rio. It's a Jordan 3, sort of that classic like elephant skin type up front, and then, you know, it's got the sort of color in the back. This pair and this pair from the same sort of theme, and the idea was that like he was making shoes under like the names of his kids. I think it was the name of his kids or for his kids, something like that.
So each of the kids had
yeah, he has 2 kids, and he created these Jordan 3s for that. Similar kind of shoe. I got these custom ones here in Nairobi. I quite like them. They're a Jordan 4, but it's like a Jordan 4 version of this. You can, yeah, I mean you can see like the textures are a bit different. Got the more like Jordan 4 type specifics on the side than the Jordan 3, but it sort of maintains a similar colorway. I mean, they are custom shoes, so yeah. I wear them like on occasions, but not every day. People tend to like have serious recognition. I mean, if you walk through a mall, people tend to turn their heads when they see something they haven't seen before. They'll talk to you and like ask you, what's that? It's nice, and then I think it's growing as well. And the fact that there's such a big online space on TikTok and Instagram, you can see that people are becoming more connected on it. I mean, that's why I started the page, so that I could create content, sort of put videos out there, connect with people, and sort of contribute to the culture myself, rather than just being someone who buys and wears them. It's not about the numbers, it's about the feeling that they give me. I like the way they make me feel. I feel confident. I like that comfort that comes from them. Yeah.
Interesting feature there on 12 minutes. Mr. Sneakerbox might just be my spirit animal. You know what they say, a good pair of sneakers can't solve your problems, but it's a great place to start running from them. That feature brings us to a close on NTV Weekend Edition tonight. Many thanks for watching. My name is Michelle Ngele Odhiambo. David Agondoa is a sign language interpreter on behalf of the entire team here at NTV. Many thanks for watching. Good evening.
This is NTV.
Make the day taste better with a new Streetwise Pasua for only 490 shillings.
Zaidi ya 20,000 login kwa mtandao, hakuna so
Citizen service bila stress, come tukupange, service bila stress, tukupange.